Okay. All right. So, today we are here to do episode 15. All right. So, before I start, I want to make a few things clear. Um, I mentioned this before on my channel, but I, while I keep up with Arknights CN, uh, I do not really like to spoil the story. So I usually, I don't read fan translations and stuff, just so I can keep myself unspoiled until we get the official um, the global text. Uh, and I always try to steer clear from any spoilers and stuff. Unfortunately, this event was um, everywhere, you know, stuff that was going on for episode 15 when it came out at CN. So unfortunately, there's two things I know. One is that Priestess appears at some point, and two, something happens to Calcit. Something that basically implies that she's gone. But not that Hypergriff is trying to be really subtle with it, anyways. With the update that they rolled out, it's pretty obvious it's gonna happen. But other than that, though, I don't know what exactly happens to her, and what's the deal with Priestess, what role she's gonna play. But yeah, and also I did do the website thing where they give you a questionnaire. I actually did not know that gave you an alternate cutscene until later, depending on which you chose. But just for clarity, I did get the gray screen, which I heard it goes for Priestess. But I just want to make clear, though, that here we stand with Rhodes and Terra and not Priestess. But I did get the gray screen. I will have to look up later what you get for the blue screen and stuff. But yeah, I just want to get that out the way. And I'm ready to start, and I'm really excited for this chapter. I've been looking forward to it for a while now. But yeah, I guess with that, let's begin. Today I'm gonna stream. It's usually for main story chapters. I'll break into 3 parts. I'll stream maybe 8 nodes, and then tomorrow we'll do another 8 nodes, and then we'll finish it off Sunday. But yeah. So, I guess here we go. The segregation zone. Whew. I've been really excited for this, man. And like I said, aside from Priestess appearing and the whole, obviously something happens to Calcit, I don't know much. Because like I said, I do try my best to steer clear of spoilers before they come out to global. But yeah. Anyways, let's begin. The end of past and present tells with silence the last light breaking, and the still hour is come with the seeds humbling in harness. Oh, I'm so excited for this one. All right, here we go. Universe. How should we interpret this word? With mathematics, physics, faith, imagination? We exhausted our minds attempting to define this still unfamiliar word in a variety of languages, and arrogantly claim to have mastered true knowledge. So why are most of us silent when destruction is so near? You cannot turn back from knowledge. Since we have glimpsed the partial truth of countless fallacies, it is only natural that we cannot retreat into the darkness of ignorance and ignore the advent of the end. I think perhaps I've touched on the key to resolving this ultimate question. Ooh. Use the language you and I created. Doctor. Ominous. It's time for this war to end, Doctor. The purple flames ignited by that Draco have accelerated the course of the war. Once the Exemplars and the Ducal Alliance's troops push onto Nasalem's final stronghold, our goal of concluding this war will finally be within reach. But Dr. Calcit, how long will it take for us to cover this short stretch? There's no way to tell, Mia. Okay, so let's pick it up right at the end of the last arc. Originium. Bloody Originiums really chopped this battleship in halves. I have to remain here and continue to fight with the local garrison. Sorry, kid, I can't go on with you. Oh, hello. Interesting bunny character. Oops. This whole time we've seen nothing but ruins and dead. No garrisons at all. Also, please don't call me kid. The monastery's already celebrated my coming of age. You remind me of my daughter. See the light shining up high there? That's part of her grace, the Dukes of Castor's Gloriana. That gun's still working, which means the news I got from the broadcast is true. My squad served the Duke, so I have to go back. But your wounds... I can walk, since you helped me patch up. But you, are you sure you want to go back to the city? It's the most polluted place there is. The active originium there will be the death of you. The bishop told me the kind person who saved me from the mines went through hell and back to deliver me all the way to the monastery. So I knew from an early age that salvation never comes without a cost. Don't worry about me. The cleric taught me many ways to keep myself safe. As long as I can save one more person, anyone, before I reach my end. Oh, she looks badly infected. Look at her arm. Damn. To be frank, this is the first time I've seen a cleric as devout as you. Your kind heart is the pride of Victoria. The bishop says faith is not at all for pride or glory. The faithful believe with sincerity that good deeds will better this land. Better this land? Maybe. But anyway, thanks, little goddess, for everything. Could you help me one last time, kid? If you make it back to the city, if my family and my daughter's still there, please tell her that Papa's always protected her. The Victorian soldier struggles to raise his injured arm and gives a non-standard salute to the goddess, before calmly turning towards the distant wreckage and vanishing into the thicket of Originium. The goddess looked at the faint light emanating from the ship's gun and cannot help but to sigh. Artillery sounds into the distance, and a tiny cottage continues towards the city on the horizon, Londinium. I hear the cannon fire too, Doctor. Madame Catherine's crawler is already assaulting the Nationalist front. But will the war end once we beat them? And the innocents who suffered, what will happen to them? There's no way to save every single life in the war, Mia. But what we can do is help the Londiniers end this misery as soon as we can. And that means the Nationalist aren't our ultimate problem. Nameless refugee. Mary, Davy, please don't tell anyone else this kid is hiding here. I met him at the city walls, and he has nowhere to go. His parents are Londiniers, he said, and he met you two in the park a long while ago, yes? Horns? Disgusted. I don't remember. You helped us, and I promised to help you, but he's not you. Thank you. He will just hide here and won't run off or make a sound. I guarantee he won't give anyone a fright. That is sarcasm? I'll be back soon. I promised someone I'd find his daughter. It's impossible for me to protect you out there when there's so many hostiles. Sorry, I couldn't find anywhere better for you to settle down. I've built quite a lot of people here though, so I trust these kids to keep you safe. The tiny sarcasm tugs sharply at the goddess's arm, but touches the pointy originium crystals instead. It is a sarcasm. He pulls back his hand on a reflex. Sorry, when I was with my pa and ma, we rarely came into contact with infected. I'll come back for you. The goddess is not gone for long. When she arrests the soldier's home as directed, there is nothing left. But letters found in the ruin tell her soldier's daughter joined the forced rebellion against the Sarkas in the city, the Exemplars. It is a difficult journey for the goddess as she returns to this refuge. When the Victorians joined forces to attack the Sarkas in front of the palace of Wasaleg, Originium continues to spread throughout the city. There are also those mad Sarkis mercenaries wandering recklessly around as if they've lost any semblance of humanity. Her head hurts from the city's terrible condition, but also from the horrific black crystals on her body. I might be nearing my end now, Father Bishop. Excuse me, were you the troops who protected the people here from those mercenaries? Yes, we have both Exemplar and Duco Elias's troops in our squad, and we got a distress call while we were gearing up to enter the palace. Trust me, this mess will be over soon. Thank you too for taking care of the kids and the refugees. Are you looking for someone? The cottage shakes her head. Right. We did mop up some of the devils hiding about. Probably here because of their sight's about to lose. See you. We have to hurry on the front. Or to the front. I didn't see that kid. The child leads the cottage through a bunker after bunker within the factory, and the latter spots other refugee residents silently carrying away Sarkis corpses. They walk up to a pile of containers, and the child struggles but manages to push the messed up lid open. The cowering Sarkis child from before looks at them in fear. She's here. I promised you I'd help you, didn't I? It all happened so suddenly earlier, so this was the only place I could hide him. But he can't stay here. On my way back, I met a group called Reunion. They can take him in. Huh. Don't worry. We'll take good care of that one. But what about you? Your ripathy's serious. You should come with us too. I still have some things to do. Alright, I won't force you. You remind me a lot of my comrades. Here's some suppressants and protective gear. Good luck. You too. Victorians advance in waves from afar towards the Nashahir King's last stand as life fades away. That is not her war. She feels fear and has no way of comprehending how these people overcome their fear of death, what keeps them pushing onward. But she hopes to save people too, to continue numbly, one life after another, even if it's all in vain. She recalls the day she left the monastery, when she and the bishop bid each other farewell by the riverside church. What is faith, you ask? I traveled to Iberia in my youth. I saw with my own eyes how the lives of those around me collapsed during the profound silence, but that tenacious nation has never once yielded. At first I only admired the country's vitality, but as I lived my life, I came to realize that vitality, that is faith. Who was there to teach me, or even the other Iberians, what path to take in life? Did anyone promise us we would surmount such a terrifying disaster? No. But faced with calamity, we always convince ourselves. Everything we do Everything we go through is inevitably for something. Suffering will eventually end, and we will enjoy a wonderful future. That is faith. Faith does not reside in scripture, nor in our prayers and hymns, but in our lives. Faith is in our bodies and minds, in every heartbeat, in every breath. It is the source of all strength. Only because we believe. Father Bishop, if it is as you say, that all suffering eventually ends, then where is our wonderful future you're talking about? Father Bishop, I think I've tried my best. Oh, damn. The cottage collapses from exhaustion among the ruins, to the sounds of gunfire and cries from afar. An intense pain reminds her of a cruel truth. This body has met its end. She waves to those nearby whom she's saved from death, staying alone in the wide open space far away from them. Her body begins to disintegrate. I'm willing to believe. The light caught in the cottage's eyes begins to dim until she sinks into endless night. Who's that? Then she seems to see someone hold her almost shattered hand, and light begins to flow back into her eyes. Oh, it's a Mia. What's wrong, Mia? Oh no, never mind. I think I heard the sound of an infected disintegrating. Again. I could almost even see their final burst of light, not too far from us. We've seen this happen too often lately. It's time we end this. Let's go confront Theresis. Let's go, Doctor. Doctor? Cal said a thought occurs. What exactly does stasis within the assimilated universe mean? Does that place we've been prevent even time from escaping? The search of information rushes forward, trying to engulf him. But Theresis does not budge. I finally see with my own eyes what great feat you've managed, Theresa. Time unknown. He looks up to the tower standing in the void as falling fragments turn back into irregular information and return into the nothingness. Theresis grabs a fragment that has drifted down to him, but it instantly turns to nothing in his palm. You opened this door for me, so I'll finish this last part of the journey in your stead, Theresa. Once we Sarkas seize the Originium that belongs to us, we shall for the first time hold the power to determine our own fate. He grips the blade in his hand and stares coldly at the large rhombus approaching him. Then, he walks towards the crumbling tower. He knows well his opponent will be there. Destroy anything, just to create a ladder. Theresa has left a path for him. The myriad souls who never gave up resisting until they completely dissipated did one last thing for the Sarkas within the Originium. They fought for a future where everyone has a right to survive, for the ones still alive. Onward, everyone. Just as always, my blade will cut our path forward, and you will lead the way. I never break my promises, Theresa. He walks up the flight of stairs towards the top of the nearly collapsed tower. So this is happening almost around the same time as the end of 14. Bearer of the sword, and this shall have no dominion. We start with the cutscene? Huh. Okay. Unknown language. New redundant information. All that remains is nothingness. He looks at the rhombus. It appears to be an eye staring at me. For the first time in his life, Theresis feels a shiver run down his spine. But it isn't his own instinctive reaction. He feels that a force, a will he can't see, is trying to make him submit. Be you a god or my creator, come out and face me. Dead silence, cold. There's no response from the void. That line goes hard. Master, you shouldn't have come here. What are you doing here? What? Her Highness has already made a terrible, reckless mistake. I do not want to lose to another person I care about. Oh, wasn't there something about her being the one killing Theresis or some shit? Master, leave this place. The time is not yet right. You should not use her to mock me, O self-proclaimed creator. The Ascalon standing before him is no illusion. This marvelous space has materialized his memories. In my memories, you are the same as before, just a little less mature. Since those who truly control this place dare not face me directly, and Theresa has indeed succeeded. They must have already been subjected to numerous restrictions. Otherwise, those arrogant beings wouldn't have tried to get you to stop me. Theresa raises his sword. You still do not wish to leave with me, Master. If you really want to take me away, then defeat me. As you wish. You're skilled, but you're merely using the skills I've taught you. Ascalon disappears into a purple haze. She used her originium arts. Theresia thinks back to the day he and Theresia led the remnants of the Sarkaz army into that storm. The day he walked into the purple smoke alone and took the knife from the girl's hands, just as he does again. It has been some time, Ascalon. Oh. Cutscene time? Oh, there is a knife. The will inside Originium. You hide in the void, gazing upon me, trying to crush me with the memories that I treasure. What do you fear, Creator? Those are Colossus. These look like little frost nova armor thingies. Oh, that's weird. Sword to save the Regent King, a spirit. Oh, I need to read that. I always wanted to stand before you again, Master. A shame, you are not her. The soundtrack is nice. Whoa. Wait, what? That was cool. Oh. You won't last much longer, Master. Theresia has left more behind for me than you think. Did you expect I would treat this unknown ground unprepared? Oh man, this soundtrack always brings up emotions up in me. He watches the Rumbus approach from the void. He already understands. You're watching me, aren't you? Theresia beat you once. I won't fall behind. I will sever your control over Amnanam. You cannot harm me. I told you, you need to be more decisive, no matter whom the foe is. You took too long. I stand where they departed, the end to which Theresia guided me. I was never the only one putting the hubris of the gods on trial. The voice of the Sarkaz has been silent for too long. The shards of the tower gather around Theresia's before they return to entropy. Gentle whispers. He hears the defiant cry of the Sarkaz against fate. Did you think you would witness me cower, God who plays this game? Did you think I would submit to sentiment? You don't know me, and you don't know the Sarkaz. Look upon my sword, Ascalon. My Priestess? Interesting.
Mission accomplished.
Okay. Well, you got her. The rhombus-shaped eye is collapsing. Thereseus raises his head and looks up at the golden sea above. The platform's descent is slowing, but it will still eventually crash into the ocean. As he steps onto the platform, the sky and the ground, up and down, instantly reverse themselves. In this barren void, without any rules, what does destruction even mean? What should he do now? Theseus isn't sure. You will vanish, Ascalon. I've severed the connection between you and a certain will. Master, I've just seen a great many images flash by. They were all images of me, but why do I feel like I'm having an out-of-body experience? Why do I feel like I'm so far away? That's just my memory of you. Of me. You aren't a false phantasm, but you're not the real Ascalon either. They're mocking me, and you as well. I will put an end to this farce myself. Master, does this mean you're going to die? What difference would it make? I'm sorry, I wasn't able to save you. No, you did well. You did Penny well enough. Priestess swings his sword with all his might, cleaving the memory construct and the already broken platform in two. Ascalon begins to shatter into pieces. Her shards, along with the other debris, fall into the golden sea, transforming into more chaotic information. Go. At least take a few of my memories when you go. Catch up to Theresa and the myriad souls on their journey. He can no longer hear Theresa or the myriad souls, but he still has a slight sense of familiarity with the information scattered around him. Everywhere. Although it's vanishing quickly. He's fighting against it, as are the myriad souls. The tower has completely collapsed. Everything has returned to the sea of data, and the sea is slowly calming down. Theseus is also falling into the vast golden ocean. He is silent and minuscule. This is by no means the end, but do we have enough time left? Theseus, our blades will not be enough to destroy the gods. However, we may manage to destroy them with their own methods. But I can't promise you this will work. I have no reason to doubt your judgment, Theresa. Tell me what I must do. Face the gods, directly. Theseus turns around and, without any hesitation, swims for deeper waters, disappearing fully into the black abyss of data. After a moment, the surface of the sea begins to stir and boil again. Then the sea splits open, as if sliced by a sharp blade. Chaotic streams of information stretch endlessly into the abyss. Connection? Unstable. It's very weird how it talks in the real programming language. Whatever this thing is, it's you. She opens her eyes and sees the small, frail creature. Then all the violent scenes come to a screeching halt. The throne room. Manfred, Ascalon does not need your help. This is not the proper stage for your fair fight. Theseus does not have much time left for us. Ascalon, what intel have you received? I was still a step too slow. Theseus is not here. The only one I've encountered is Manfred. According to Ascalon's reports, Theseus really has returned from the command center. Salem surely chose to place Palace Wassaleg as the site for the final battle with an eye towards protecting Theseus. However, currently, Theseus and Theresa are still concealing their true motives from the other members of the military commission. This includes Manfred, the nominal leader of the military commission. Manfred stands alone at the front of the empty throne facing you down. Ascalon is fully locked onto him, leaving him no room for any reckless moves. The standing water from his earlier battle with Ascalon has soaked Manfred's cloak, leaving him slightly disheveled. Theresa must have already captured Amnanam and handed it over to Theseus, but Theseus is not here, and Manfred seems to be unaware of his whereabouts. Doctor, do you think he went there too? to the simulated universe. Teresa has been moving too aggressively. If Theresis reasserts himself yet again, the damage could be irreparable. Terra, as it stands now, is woefully unprepared, regardless of the outcome. Costa, what are the chances of success? Are we prepared to deal with any and all potential outcomes? I don't have detailed information on the first Originium either, so naturally, I'm unable to propose any concrete countermeasures. In other words, without things have developed so far, it's become very difficult to rely on our past experience and knowledge to analyze the current situation. Dr. Calcit, do you mean we are helpless to do anything? Not at all. If the plan succeeds, what Theresis and Theresa are seeking still falls within the bounds of our understanding, and we may not face the worst case scenario. But if they fail... Calcit looks at you, her eyes filled with worry. Doctor, we must return to the Rose Island landship as quickly as possible. We might still have one last chance to buy Terra a brief moment of respite. Okay, that sounds ominous. First, we must get Manfred under control. Instead of worrying about things that have not yet happened, we should eliminate those variables that already exist. I will protect the doctor and restrict Manfred's movement as much as possible. Settle this quickly. Be wary of the Tikas Wurzen that he's carrying. Just as the Tikas Wurzen in Manfred's hands begin to glow red, the King of Sarkis' arts and Ascalon's blade descends upon him. This must end. Move. Ascalon instantly dissolves into purple mist, scattering amidst a flash of blade, before reforming again. The barrier woven by Amiya protects you and Calcit, but it begins to falter against the blade flash. Oh. What happened to you? The blade's master slowly emerges from the darkness. He looks even more terrifying under the faint light. You've put yourself in this predicament. Your Highness, you. It looks like Nasalem is fulfilling his end of the bargain. Damn. You've come here to see me. Very good. You see a man standing calmly before the throne, Theresis. He looks nothing like the man you once knew. He's tightly gripping a vivid, gleaming crystal. Amnanam, you've succeeded. Has he? You seem surprised. You too have set foot in the void. You too have witnessed her departure. You know full well the heavy price the Sark has paid for this. And yet, you never believed the Sark has had any rightful claim to it. Isn't that right, Dame Calcit? At least for now, we rejoice in your success. I thought you would rejoice in my death, Dame. His original infection level. Just what has he been through? I don't know what he's encountered, but needless to say, the assimilated universe's chaotic information continues to rapidly corrupt his will. And we carry on this way until his entire body is fully recoded in another format. Originium. How much longer can he hold out? Frankly, I'm stunned that he's managed to survive this long. Your Highness, I shall escort you out. Maybe we can still find a way to. Londinium does not need me anymore. Please handle the remaining tasks. I must do one last thing for the Sarkas, while my mind is still clear. Rhodes Island. The equality you seek may be a noble goal for all of Terra, but we Sarkas will not be there to greet its arrival. Such bitter irony. You and I brought about that outcome with our own hands, Doctor, and now you're walking the very path she once laid out for me. Amnanam is responding to Theresis' call. The entire underground throne room begins to shift. The path by which you entered is now gone. The hole sealed in the lower layer of the Londinium is being filled at a pace visible to the naked eye. Stop him. The surging Originium assimilates Amiya's arts, something she has never experienced before. It's not working, why? But Priestess still shows the same, rarely seen pained look on his face. Goddess, you are much like her. Something's not right. The Originium assimilated Amiya's attack. He is currently adapting to and studying Amnanam, but the more he's exposed to it, the more the chaotic data streams will impact him. The first Originium, having had its authority seized by force, can't possibly compare it to the state it was in when first created. We still have a chance. We don't have to attack head on. We can't hold out for long. I see it close to him. Just trust me. Oh, what? You'll never forget how you felt in that moment. You nearly lost Amiya. However, you feel a torrent of jumbled information rushing through your mind. Time is slowing down, but you can feel the Originium you control. Maybe, just maybe, you still have a chance. As long as you can remember everything that happened. If you can do that, you'll be able to stop the Originium. I will do my best to carve a path for you, Doctor. Monster, do not worry about me. Protect the Doctor. The Doctor is the only person out of everyone here who can stop Amnanam. Trust me. The surging Originium activates the pool of dead water that has lain still on the surface for ages. Mist clinging to your mask makes it hard to see the road ahead. However, you feel a silken thread wrap around your waist, gently guiding you forward. Mia, keep going. I told you before, this conflict ended long ago. Doctor, Teresa, and I fully understand there is no place for us in the Sarkis future. I mean, you can't be sure of that. However, Ascalon, Manfred, your future does not lie here either. Originium creeps up Manfred and Ascalon's bodies, pushing them towards the edge to the end of the battlefield. Leave. Go to a safe place and wait there. Remember to take Amnanam back to Kazda. Wait, Your Highness. Manfred's voice vanishes within the underground throne room. Priestess has already scuttled him off to a safe place. You don't get to make decisions for me anymore. Ascalon dissolves into a purple mist, slipping through the cracks in the Originium and remaining in the throne room. She is everywhere all at once, just waiting for an opportunity. Folly. Amnanam is still flashing, but his movements are becoming increasingly difficult. The Originium is restricting his arms, his eyes, and even his thoughts. But still, he forces himself to remember one goal: to bury everything here. He needs to hold on to his last shred of sanity so he can leave Amnanam with Manfred, who is finally safe. He struggles to lift up his sword, as he once did when he served at the side of the King of Sarkis. He raises his sword for the Sarkis one final time. Doctor, we meet again at last. Have you ever looked up at the sky? Beyond that sky, far beyond the twin moons, there is a place that we would once return to, where we would sleep peacefully. But I am the only one left here speaking with you. In the course of the Sarkis' eternal search for the remains of dead gods to fend off your enemies, have you ever wondered? Why did those gods die? In the sea filled with both truth and the unknown, I saw a fleeting vision of the gods before they died, and the root of the pain you bear. I now understand you, though you have already passed away. Now I'm the only one left, and I'm speaking to you. Before I retire to my eternal slumber, I will destroy you. I shall build a ladder for the Sarkas. No longer will anyone toy with the fate of the Sarkas. We should reclaim our own destiny, Doctor. Theresia swings his sword. A beam of light stings your eyes, and you rack your brain, trying to recall how to stop Amnenum. Amia's barrier breaks layer by layer, amidst the gleam of the sword. You think you see Monster's huge frame blocking your view. Stop. You suddenly remember everything about the moment you almost lost Amia. You remember how you stopped it all. You did it, Doctor. You remembered. Ooh, man. Priestess. You. Voice in the smoke. You told us that we will only have one chance to strike. You really have slowed down a lot. Theresia struggles to lower his head and sees the blade has pierced his heart, as well as Ascalon, with a determined look on her face and tears in her eyes. The figure steps out of the smoke and pins Theresia to the throne with all her strength. Amnenum and his sword fall to the ground, lying in the shallow water reflecting the dim light. Master, this is the end. Theresia raises his hand. Careful, do not let him touch it again. Theresia clutches Ascalon's assassin's blade and uses all his strength to slowly draw it from his chest. There is no blood, there is no warmth. All that's left are a few shattered crystal shards. Well done. You finally found your conviction. Your heart. It stopped beating a while ago. I've repaid my debt. Take it. Theresia, straining, shifts his gaze towards Amnenum laying on the ground. Find Manfred. And Casdell. Go home. You. Ascalon feels herself being pushed away by a very weak hand. I will stay here. I cannot let the Sarkas know my fate. He hears faint cheers from above, the cheers of the Victorians. The Nasher, her king, is gone. His war ended just before mine. Doctor, I was able to gaze upon the true face of the gods. I only regret that I was unable to completely defeat you. Calcit. Assuming he speaks the truth, he may have bought Terra a moment's respite. Regardless, we must continue our preparations, Doctor. Then, Theresia. He will remain here. I'll ensure that no one disturbs him, no one finds him. She holds up Amnenum and Theresia's sword. Doctor Calcit, Amnenum belongs to Casdell. It must return to Casdell. We must consider this matter carefully. The damage the Sark has inflicted on Londinium is bound to stir a new wave of hatred, and without proper guidance, it could lead to an even darker nightmare. This war must end, because Casdell must also take measures to protect itself. We can go to Casdell together and watch how they use Amnenum. This really is the best move, Calcit. There are many things we need to discuss, but not here. First, we must use Amnenum to leave this place. Give it a try, Doctor. Strange, it's not responding to me. Let me try. I can feel a faint connection. I think it's responding to me. The sealed passage reopens yet again. It is assaulting my thoughts? Enough. We can't just keep using this thing haphazardly. We need to do more research on both its uses and its potential dangers. Can it create catastrophes? Or something? Ascalon looks at the figure on the throne. In the darkness, she cannot make out his face. Her eyes are a bit blurry. I'll go with you. I will respect his wishes. I don't need to witness his end. Ascalon. The goddess hugs Ascalon tightly. Ascalon suddenly realizes that the frail goddess she once found in the wilderness has grown up. Let's go home together. Doctor, y'all go ahead, I'll catch up. I'll stay here to protect you. monster is staying here, and it should be sufficient. The Priestess is no longer a threat. We'll wait for you outside. It's very quiet. All you can hear is dripping water. You silently creep closer to the man on the throne. You do not fear death, Doctor. You can't kill me. You don't think that way. Such a prideful stance. His voice is hoarse. You're forcing yourself to speak with me. You have won my respect, Doctor. You're more determined than I thought. But you are on a suicide mission. I never imagined you could seize Amnanim. You are heroes in the eyes of the Sarkas, but... Why are you laughing? I'm laughing at you, Doctor. You know nothing. What did you find in the assimilated universe? That is my secret. You have no right to ask. I have no desire to belittle Rose Island's yearning to heal the wounds caused by Originium. Yet it is still so ironic. In the end, if you find that the real monster is you, then what will you do, Doctor? What have you learned? Alas, I will not live to see that day. You and I never really did get along. It was so then as it is now. He grabs at his clothing. It seems like he's trying to find something. There are deep cuts on his breastplate, wounds left by Ascalon. He finally finds what he's looking for, the stone blade he always carries. Calm down, monster of Calcit. He's just trying to throw you the blade. It's Ascalon's. Leave. You are not worthy of witnessing my end. Directly below the Palace of Weshaleg throne room, on the lowest throne in Terra, the regent of the Sarkas accepts his fate alone. This first Victorian throne, which has been eroded by time and bears little resemblance to its original form, was moved here intact when this nomadic city was first built and became part of the foundation of the Palace of Weshaleg. The king who built Londinium said, "This symbolizes that Victoria's royal authority is everlasting, from beginning to end." Excuse me. According to official Victorian records, the Sarkas mercenaries, led by an organization called Babel, withdrew from Londinium in October 1098. However, the leader who ultimately directed all of this, Ceresis, vanished without a trace. The end of Kazdil's heroic age. His ears can no longer hear anything, but the sound of the ocean waves floods his brain, just as it did before. This is the voice of the assimilated universe. An endless stream of information crashes into his consciousness. It is frenzied and unclear. It is beyond his understanding. Theresis has very little time left to think. His final shred of consciousness surrenders to the vast sea of data. Damn. His consciousness comes to rest beside a lonely monster. The ugly Tikaz, wearing a black crown on his head, walks out from the silvery mountains. He looks up at the vast starry sky. The eternal starry sky. The wild primal continent. From every corner of existence, countless lives look beyond the earth and stars. They all gaze up at the same universe. He's not lonely. He feels more calm and peaceful than he's ever felt in his life. At last, I see the past as you once saw it, as well as the future. He wants to say something more, to call that name one last time, but he can no longer speak. He's totally exhausted, but as he prepares to close his eyes, a faint white ray emerges from the darkness. We insist that you know the parting words she left for you. As Theresa left with the myriad souls, she heard your voice among the many who called out to her. Our time has finally come to an end. Goodbye, Theresa's. He strains to open his eyes. His field of vision grows even darker, or ever darker. But he recognized the figure in white some time ago, as soon as it first appeared. Goodbye, Theresa. He doesn't need to hold on any longer. He flashes a slight smile and allows his last whip of consciousness to dissipate. Ah, man. I mean, like, say what you want about Theresa's, right? You know, it's easy to say, you know, stuff is right and wrong. Like, obviously, he directed like a lot of violence towards, you know, Victoria and all that shit. You know, the war and all the bloodshed and all that, but faulting, how do I say this? Faulting to want to fight for like your own people, even if there's like evil involved, if you want to call it that, it's hard to call it like entirely evil. I can't put it into words, but like, yeah, I can't hate him in the end of the day, you know? Like I say, obviously this is fucked up shit when you consider everything, but I did truly think everything he did and his sister was like for the sarcasts, people who are obviously, you know, really discriminated against in Terra. So it's like, the light dispels the darkness. The light brings forth the darkness. When the light pours into his eyes once more, time seems to have gone backwards, back to the moment before the collapse. The hell is this place? You are lost. Who speaks to me? It has been a long time since this place has seen a new visitor. Or are you the last survivor of the ruined planet? I remember, my consciousness was shattering. And then, disintegration, death. But why? In any case, welcome. Come, seek me. Oh, it's a rabbit girl. I remember a hand reached out to me before I died. This place. The goddess who should have perished and returned to Terran soil looks around in confusion. Oh, wait, this is her POV. She has never seen a place like this before. Light falls upon her as she feels warm. Wait, is this really happening? What? Where are we? The land beyond death. The home of the gods. Oh, we're just gonna leave off there. Okay. That was a long second note. Wow. Doctor, the new adverse combat difficulty is available for the stage. Oh, right. Thanks for reminding me. You can directly enter adverse combat and begin the simulation. This way, only the sanity required for the adverse combat itself will be consumed. Upon completing the simulation, the corresponding standard combat stage's progress will sync up, and the first clear rewards for that standard stage will also be obtained. In addition, once the adverse combat simulation is completed, your simulation unlocks. If you take on this increased difficulty, you can earn simulation points, Doctor. Oh, okay. Shall sleep in the light of the wondrous day, where hell and heaven shall leave thee free to the universe of destiny. Is this all one sentence? It is. Or not sentence, but... In the name of a miracle, Okay. So I'm gonna kind of want to bring like story characters just for fun. So I'll make like I'll bring Kelsey for now, and the Mia. Whoever shows up, basically. Where's the Mia? I don't remember. Sorry for the dog, by the way. Is she a guard right now? Yeah. Who else? Maybe Ascalon? Wait, she's over here.
探査中に下した誤った判断を修正する。
I guess that's it for now. Then we'll just whatever from there. Let's see here. I could use burn, but I kind of don't want to use elemental damage for right now. Let's see. I'll bring Palace. I always bring Palace. Porter, Ines. Lupus.
If conflict is unavoidable, a swift end is a form of mercy.
We some 5 stars as well. Why not? Philopsis. Well, I hope there's not elemental damage in this chapter. I feel like every time there's elemental damage, you're like just kind of forced to bring Asia. Let's do Blaze. Why not?
Go right ahead at any moment. I'll be there.
I need more high ground. Let's just say
橋が渇望してやがる。なあ、お前らの武器、ちょっと見せてもいいか?
I'm gonna convert her. Oh, I forgot she had the skin.
Yes, I understand.
If conflict is unavoidable, a swift end is a form of mercy.
Confused individual. Bells. Why am I hearing them ring from all directions? Your voice is so soft that it does not even echo off the walls. Whenever the foggy light comes, lots of tiny holes appear in the walls, opening and closing, breathing. When the light disappears, the walls turn white and silent. That light is very different from the holy city's light that the bishop talked about. The light is a simulated F spectrum. I can hear you. How can I see you? She presses her nails to the wall. It feels warm and soft, as if she's touching someone else's fingertips. So she places her whole palm against the wall, pressing closely to the wall's fine patterns and textures. Wherever her hand moves, the patterns stretch along with it, as if they're quietly guiding her by the hand. You're responding to me. She moves forward for a bit, and the walls extend with her, leading her. There are so many doors and so many different paths here. Where do they all lead? The goddess stops walking. She sees a god standing in midair, a short distance in front of her. Its silhouette is massive. The surface of the god's body carries a murky sheen, unlike that of any metal, and nimbly arranges a vast array of glowing fragments into patterns. As the patterns change, the fragment shifts color in return. But the girl notices that there is no halo on the god's head. The midair colossus completely ignores her, gliding past without hesitation. The hell is that? Mechanical life form. Another similar being approaches and stops in front of her. It seems to be asking her a question. I don't understand what you're saying. The god is quiet for a moment. Then it switches from its own language to another one and continues talking. Your use of language is primitive. The god extends his supple limbs to cover the goddess's head. The goddess nervously shuts her eyes. There's no need to fear. I am analyzing your brain frequency and will upload it to Anseta. What's going on? Language. You. Sufficient to communicate. Not yet vectorized. Extrapolation. Deduction. Language. Temporary adjustment. Resonance. Necessary. I can't understand you. Can you understand me? Indubitably. Indubitably? Then are you God? The goddess nervously asks the question that she is most desperate for an answer to. God. Question. Definition necessary. The bishop says that God is the embodiment of the law and the Lord of the holy city, who protects the sick and the dearly departed. But these things that he says were never recorded in the history books. Forsake God. God, not necessary. If you aren't God, then who rescued me? Why have I been brought here? Or has this kingdom come? Are you here to guide me into the kingdom? Questions, too many. Resonance lacking. Communication inefficient. Ray distorter, I. Partial answer, show you. The being who calls itself Ray Distorter uses its limbs to draw a window in the air and drag it to the nearest wall. The image in the porthole quickly fades from view. A pale, eerie light wells up from nowhere, flooding the entire window. The image sharpens gradually, and the goddess girl looks out the window. What? Where are we? Holy shit. That's a whole ass planet. There's no way that's Terra, right? A shattered sphere floats in the dark expanse of space, dotted with countless stars. It is frozen at the moment of death. All the past have not had time to be told shatter into dust and are cast into the frozen void. The dust particles find each other and circle around the former garden. They clump together into rings that float in the air. What? That's a starship. I'm just wondering if this is really happening, because she was dying. The goddess girl and Ray Distorter sail atop these dust rings into the dead silence. I mean, it seems like, yeah. We see, sail, salvage. You shudder, fear? The faraway things, the twinkling things, they look like eyes. It's really scary. They're just stars, but they feel alien to me. There are too many of them. They are too close, too bright. You're not scared? Fear is unnecessary. Fear, too limiting, too inadequate to describe. Excuse me. The goddess looks through the window and sees that tiny holes have appeared in the walls of the ship. What's with the holes? A white light appears somewhere far, far in the distance. It starts growing and growing until it covers up almost the entire window. The blinding light caresses the surface of the land of death, covering and hiding everything from any would-be watchful eyes. The goddess girl looks directly at the light, as a fear is continually invading her heart, a fear she does not understand. Huh. Interesting. It's the pale light of a dying star. A dead planet still orbits the star, and the great ship clinging to the star ring must endure its light and its wailing again and again without end. Sea, yes? Only grave, no holy city. Only cycles, only laws, no gods. Universe, welcome. You, traveler, name? Hierda. I don't know when it started, but the nicknames the clerics used to tease me with became my name. Huh. Administrator permission confirmed. Unlocking restricted access project. PRTS, repaired audio log. 0422. Access restrictions unlocked. Date unrecoverable. Play log. Under development area. Subject Calcit. The dust has settled in Londinium. The hopes for peace and Victoria seem dim. How much time do we have? I know you're listening, PRTS. I need you to do everything you can to restore monitoring the cradle process in the middle decks under development area. And prepare to grant closure access to my permissions. Authorization Abyss, thank you. There's a lot left to do. How much will I manage myself? Playback finished. Erasing access log. Log has been erased. Administrator, do you want to unlock the next classified log? Operation confirmed. Unlocking next log. Go. Rose Island Landship, summer of 1101. 3 years? Oh yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, 1101. Yeah. Huh. Wow. That would make Mia like 19, right? Around there. EP. Oh, hey, Elena. Good work. It seems like closure and the mechanics upgrades were effective. Hey, the repair work on this sector is nearly complete. She feels a small body make contact with her back, hugging her neck and giggling. Elena knows the giggle well. Sometimes it makes her happy, and sometimes it makes her anxious. Or me? She takes the girl she loves so much up on her back. Yeah. Pot lid. I smells cream stew. Lance, you're going to ruin the surprise. It smells too good. How can I help myself? You sure are happy. I guess the doctor agreed. Yes. I saw there was an opening for volunteer work in the Rim Bulletin office, and I set up as soon as I could. The food I cook now can't cure a minus oropathy, sure, but our Rhodes Islander friends can, and I can feel their stomachs. If Savage and Ray had vouched for me, the doctor might have rejected my application on the spot. Well, it's my responsibility as your guardian to accompany you, obviously. Savage and Ray are with me, no worries. But even when I'm not around, you still have to eat, right, Lance? I've left a full week's worth of soups of the day in the kitchen, all your favorite flavors. My colleagues in logistics will keep an eye on you for me. You're the boss, Potlid. But will you really be able to stand leaving your friends? Yes, the VP is also a good friend of mine. But lots of people I know have applied to serve as backup in this place or that. And I'm not about to fall behind. Everyone's looking forward to touring our new home after the mission is over. Lance, you promised me that Rose is gonna look even more beautiful once the renovations are done. Shh, of course. I picked the closure's blueprints before. Also, I was already brave enough to say goodbye to my family and set off on a long journey, just like my dad did. Lance, you just wait for my return. Zima, a giant cookie. That's from KLB. Lots of operators getting ready to head out to support post got cookies. You gotta eat good while you're traveling. Kay was really firm with me on that. I just wonder if she's gonna end up eating most of the cookies before she gets to share them. I set it up with Vulcan to make a batch of cookies as quickly as possible, so Kay could pass them out to all the operators going on field missions. When the time comes, I'll have Sonya go with Kay to distribute them. Why? Forget it. I'll just drag Leto along with me. I'm fine as long as you give me the honey's drink you owe me once we get there. With a drink in my hand, I'm at your command, General Zima. Gah, what a headache. All this talking to people shit. This is Natalia's work. But Rosa can't be everywhere at once. She has a lot of specific plans to go over with Amiya too, you know. This trip's going to be a bit more trouble than usual. After all, we're going to... Ursus. Oh. I know the next chapter, I think chapter 16 is gonna take place in Ursus again. So that's gonna be interesting to see what happens there. It's probably gonna close it off. Or did you give the task of planning with Amiya to Rosa because you were afraid you couldn't do it? Who said I couldn't do it? It's just Ursus, the place they all left together. So much time has passed since then. Yeah. It's like 5 years now? Zima believes they are ready to go back and face the place once more. Gummy, what's wrong with your hand? Nothing, Zima. It's just a little sore is all. We had them baking too many cookies. The bakers in the canteen got worn out. Even Kay, waiting right outside the door, had to get dragged in to help like a good girl. Don't worry about me, Zima. She wants to feel the bellies of the operators who took good care of her and are not leaving home. I feel the same way. We'll do our part as well. Anyways, Natalia also needs to spend some time. You need help? Count me in. Durnar. These are our characters we haven't seen in a while. It's nice to see. See, little cub? Look what I can whip up in the kitchen. Instructor Durnar. The doctor showed me your application. I took the liberty of applying to travel with you as your guardian. Truth is, the doctor was too worried about sending you back. I'm worried enough myself. Zima, welcome. Rosa, the doctor didn't want to approve your application at first. Medical accessed all of you and recommended that we be a bit more careful with your itinerary. But in the end, the doctor respected our wishes. That's because of Zima. She burst into the doctor's office and vowed to protect you, promising your safe return to Rhodes Island. Just like before. I kept them alive in Chernobyl. I got us through it. This time's no different. This isn't just about your safety. This encounter with Ursus will be different from before. Natalia and I have worked that out. Or have it worked out. If we operate under her family's Rostov's industries, we'll have an easier time moving around. I'm not worried about your status. Rhodes Island has ways to deal with things like that. The assessment says you aren't fully prepared yet. You know, she may get an altar in the future. It'll be cool to see. There are other logistics tasks you can choose. There are always other ways you can help Rose Island. We're all nervous about going back, at least a bit, but we can't keep hiding from it. This isn't some journey home for self-healing. We looked over the risk and volunteered because we think we're a good fit for the operation in Ursus. We decided to call Rose Island our home a long time ago. So I can guarantee I'll bring them back home, safe and sound. So it seems they are going to be involved in the next chapter, probably. Sonya has always been braver than me. Amiya, as far as the details of our collaboration with Rostov Industries, I'd appreciate it if Dr. Cal said the doctor could take a closer look. I believe this will only be beneficial to our operations. Consider it done, Rosa. However, I still recommend that you avoid conducting any operations at Chernobyl for now. Ursus is still patrolling the area as closely as ever, and your identities are still an issue. We'll stay in contact with the ship. There are still many aspects of the Ursine operation that will be up to you to assess. Have a safe trip, Rosa. The ship will be sending additional logistics and medical staff to accompany you, not only to support your operation, but also to explore the possibility of establishing a permanent office in Ursus. By the way, someone else came to mind after your travel plans were announced. She hopes to join you on your journey. Oh? Gummy, put the pot down. You eat your fill first. Huh? I haven't gotten hungry in a very long time. Maybe I was just too busy today and forgot to eat, Istina. You and Zima are here, so I'll be fine. Then get to eating, you hear me? Open wide, Gummy. I'm full, Lero. Come to think of it, do you have anything you need us to bring, Zima? Personal thingies. I brought some big crates with me. Well, let's bring the guitar Natalia gave me. Don't want her asking about it later. Anything else, just leave it at home. Not like we're never coming back. Leto, didn't you say we weren't taking anything? That reminds me, I've got some junk to give to someone. I know we swing by Gajerag on the way, Sonia. Should be fine. I'll submit my travel plan to the doctor. Excuse me, might I join you on your trip to Ursus? Oh! Sorry, I know this request is sudden, but I have something as well. Sonia, let Zoya come with us. I wonder if we're ever gonna get more on Pozimenka as well, because her past is still kind of a mystery, other than we just found her in the damn Durin carnival underground thing. Sonia, let Zoya come with us. This rescue mission will be a long one. We could take care of each other along the way. You already know Natalia? I talked to Rosa about it. Don't sweat it, Zoya. This isn't our first joint trip. Kyobi, wait, that cookie is still a bit raw in the middle. She don't care. No, stop her. She'll give herself a tummy ache. Huh? I'm gonna be late. Who made these? Kay made so many cookies. Those cookies should go to a very, very good people. Lots of wonderful people are setting out on the journey. They took good care of Kay at home, so Kay wants to make sure they don't go hungry. That's the deal. Oh, Fallen Nick. So many characters we haven't seen in a while. That's so nice to see. Doctor, the copy rooms on each floor have been packed with people these past few days. This round of field deployments, going into so many different regions, is a perfect opportunity for us to pick up local souvenirs. The wish lists everyone's been making are long enough to start a whole Terran expo. In the past, Closure has suggested that the procurement department make unified purchases for the operators, but I rejected the idea. Let's keep the spirit of the tradition alive. Procurement will be sending out a notice soon regarding the reimbursement. Do you need me to bring you back anything from my trip to Victoria? Casa shakes her head. She looks at the cookies Falnik is holding with a bit of suspicion. Kyobi shoved these cookies at me just now. She just made a gigantic mess in the kitchen, and Amiya is still trying to help clean it up. Poor Amiya. Falnik, you're going to have your hands full on this trip to Victoria. In addition to recovering data from several offices in the ducal territories, you have to monitor Nasayorsi and Reed. You have to coordinate with all the different offices to provide her as much support as possible. Of course. And Ladinium? Let Heidi know that we are temporarily delaying our return to the ship for debriefing. Ever since Ladinium's parliament restored contact with the outside world, it has resumed collecting messages from the core nations. The intelligence network that Heidi has been cultivating is extremely important. This is also why I'm sending you to provide support. So overall, things aren't really that great. I see. I'll pay close attention to all of this. Falonic, you need to take it easier. What? You have a habit of overloading yourself. I saw your itinerary. You're stretching yourself too thin. I deleted a few of the tasks. Try not to dwell on the things you fear. And don't try to force yourself to take control of them either. Falonic, I never expected you to be like your mother. Or me. I don't support encouraging those who have experienced suffering to forget the hatred and violence they've endured. If we want to build a better future, we mustn't surrender. Try to slow down your pace a bit, Fallen Nick. Wanting to have more control over your life is good, but getting all anxious about it is just as tantamount to self-torture. It's a long road to Victoria, but I need you to remember the smile you had when you first walked in this room. This is my one and only requirement for you. I will remember that. I'll pick out a souvenir for you myself when I get to Victoria. Farewell, Dr. Calcit. Red, you don't need to hide. I was afraid you would be angry. You told me not to be sad about Saracusa, but I made you sad. I don't want to leave Rhodes Island this time. I'm afraid you will force me. I haven't prepared the transfer order for Sweep yet, Red. Stay here on standby. Ascalon's orders will arrive soon. After we receive the orders, can I stay by your side? Yes. Didn't you arrive some time ago? Yes, I arrived a while ago. Savage. Aunt Gemma and Mom prepared these canned golden radishes for me to hand out to my colleagues. Sorry, there may be a few too many of them. Should we maybe store them in the kitchen first? There's a veritable mountain of cans here. Oh yeah, of course the doctor's here. I'll leave them with you. All this stuff happened all of a sudden. It's been too long since I've been home. Mom's stockpile of canned goods is getting out of control. She just keeps dumping them on me over and over. Didn't you just tell me they were prepared specifically for our colleagues? Ah, yes, right. Anyways, they're on mine. I'll decide how they're used. Doctor, may I trouble you to help me distribute these to our colleagues when you see them? Wormy's on a tight schedule, so I don't have time to do it myself. Alright, the 2 cans with names on them. I saved them for you and Amia. Don't give them out by mistake. They look more or less the same. You. Of course they're not the same. Alright, I also need to take 30 cans on my own trip. For your own supplies? No, as gifts. Wormy and Ray have an old friend, Jerry. Oh, that mouse guy? Ever since he married Kara, his career has really taken off. I saw the last photo he sent. His family has been blessed with quite a litter of kids lately. Really? Wormy made plans with us to stop and visit them on the way. They mentioned this. Time really flies, huh? And we haven't really changed much, eh? Well, Amir sure does seem like she's matured a lot ever since she returned from Casdell. Please take good care of Wormy and Ray. Please take care of yourself as well. Don't worry, Doctor. I look forward to seeing you again after the field missions are complete. Still, this field assignment covers a pretty wide area. I'm afraid it'll be quite a while before I can sleep soundly in my own bed again. Don't worry, Rhodes Island will wait for you to return. Righto. Keep the lights on for me, Doctor. I like that. I like seeing how Rhodes Island moves internally. Hey, what are you still doing here? The sissies. I just thought of something. We still haven't been given our medicine health maintenance manuals yet. We need this guidance so that we can remember our health regimens. I mean, this is going to be a long trip abroad. Will we all remember to eat our meals and take our medicines? Wait, where are y'all going? The medic operators will take care of all that. Why are you worried about it? But we often do forget to take proper care of ourselves. You yourself, Lava, don't you forget to take your food rations with you sometimes? Meh, whatever. Then there's the other members of A1. The squad is going to be taking on some dangerous tasks. Cruz has to go on a long trip all by herself. Will they be okay? Ugh, enough already. Will you quit treating them like children? We've been at this for so long. We're all adults already. Ooh, I don't remember the years of the Sui sibling saga. That might be that. You know, with like Neon and all the other Sui siblings. I know, I get it. It's just that leaving a place I've spent so many years with everyone, day in and day out, not knowing when I'll be back, it's a lot to take in. I just feel a bit empty inside. Don't worry, we'll be back. Rhodes Island is dealing with some stuff right now. I trust a doctor, Dr. Calcit, and Amia can handle it all. All we have to do is complete our own tasks and be patient. Rhodes Island is our home, and we're not gonna lose our home. No matter what happens, we'll be back. Someday. Right. We'll be together again. Hell yeah. Warfarin. Your body temp hasn't come down. It seems like the old cocktail of drugs is no longer effective. However, your metabolic rate has not been impacted too much. After the concentration of the old drugs in your bloodstream goes down, I'll administer some new medications. These new drugs will decrease your pain threshold, but don't worry, I'll up your pain meds. Alright. There are a few new empty beds. They left yesterday, don't worry. They've just been transferred elsewhere for more targeted temporary treatment. By the way, a few people left some notes for you. They're in your bedside drawer. Your condition is rather unusual, and we should keep you in a controlled treatment environment. Staying here with me under my observation is the best option. Okay, thank you. What are you looking at, Chloe? There are little circles at the ceiling, on the ceiling that keep spinning. Looking at them makes me feel safe. The crystals are still interfering with your vision. My next surgery will be an attempt to remove the crystals near your retinas. Ugh. Crystals in the retinas? Every time I stare at them, they look like they've come just a bit closer. It's like they're talking to me. Can you hear them? Their sound. It's like that old bell I used to hear. You mean the ones you told me about before, from the bell tower in your hometown? There's more than just one bell tower. I was on the quest to repair all of them, and had already repaired quite a few when they were all destroyed by cannon fire. I reached out to the operators we got in Victoria. They looked into it for you. The town's been rebuilt, and the locals even repaired that old bell. That's great news. Now that the bell's tolling again, life can continue on. Quite a relief, isn't it? Warfarin double checks the instrument's reading one last time, then injects the prepared medicine into the IV system. The buzzing of the instruments mixes together with the noise of the IV system and Chloe's occasional gasp of pain. Dr. Warfarin, how many different types of medicine have we tried over the last 30 years? Let me worry about that. All your vital indicators have stabilized. That's what's really important here. Before I contracted neuropathy, I often carried out for infected soldiers in the bell tower. I know exactly what it means when the crystals start spreading across your skin. Chloe tries to move the muscles in her face, but the tiny spikes embedded in her skin twist her expression. Her wound split open, and bright beads of blood begin to seep out. Ooh. You see, they won't even let me smile. As a doctor, I cannot guarantee outcomes. I can only promise that every medic in Rhodes Island will provide you the best possible care. Thank you, Dr. Warfarin. I just miss my hometown. Touch? This report, the first time I saw this patient's charts, I thought there was some kind of error in the data then too. But we checked the data several times and it was correct. By all logic, no patient with this high a cell originium acceleration rate should still show any signs of life. It goes against everything we know about neuropathy. Oh, so she is an oddity? Interesting. And yet, the originium is keeping the patient alive, in a way no one could have predicted. Some of her internal organs have completely crystallized, but they're actually functioning more efficiently and stably than those of previous patients we've seen. Huh. I haven't figured out what's causing this condition yet, but based on the data, the more her infection progresses, the healthier she seems. And the more pain she's in. We've never seen a case like this before. This may be some kind of new mutated form of neuropathy. If we can make some sort of medical breakthrough while administering her treatment, maybe these people we rescued from Victoria really can bring a few miracles to Rhodes Island. Huh. Oh yeah, we're doing the stage. Wow, these are long nodes.
マップと適座標の DMA 設定を適用しています。少
Get your
々お待
computing
ちくだ
model
さい。
disrupted by Reginium is unctually launches frozen beverages cans at operators who aren't even thirsty at all. We're fighting vending machines? Okay.
Fighting is the only option here.
Sono tutta letale la danza della dama elegante. Di rosso si tinge il fiore sottostante.
There to there.
チェーンソーのうなり声が聞こえる？
Sono tutta... Perché tanta fretta? La strada per l'inferno è già abbastanza trafficata.
No horses.
滅亡はいずれ降臨するのだ。
このチェーンソーで真っ二つにされたくなかったら
Those look like
さ
capybaras.
っさと投稿し
Am
ち
I
ゃって。
tripping? Oh, I forgot how sick this skin looks.
エリートオペレーターから教わった切断術を見せてあげる。
That's a really great skin.
エリートオペレーターから教わった切断術を見せてあげる。
Sono tutta... Perché tanta fretta? La strada per l'inferno è già abbastanza trafficata.
俺を武器をその殻から解き放つ。
Tanti perlomeno prova a scalfirmi il soprabito.
私たちにはあとどれほどの時間が残されている？そう。ああ、君の判断を信じよう。
So what's this? Level 1, level 2. Should I do this? I'll probably do it in my own time. I'll just continue with the story for the stream. Brink of the Abyss. How do you measure the depths of the abyss? The answer in your own life hang upon the same thread. Oh. Okay.
各小隊、再度アンチオリジニウムデバイスの運転状況を確認しろ。
Okay. A suicide aerial enemy.
逃げ道など必要ありません。泣き叫べ。その脆い信念のもとで。
Wait, I can't want to see him explode.
Picked out your bait yet?
Ooh. Okay.
滅亡はいずれ降臨するのだ。
Che posto meraviglioso.
Which actually measures how much
泣き
damage
叫
you
べ。その脆い信念のもとで。
We'll do this.
アーツユニット、チャージ中。震え上がれ。真の勇敢さを前に。
Sono tutta... Perlomeno prova a scalfirmi il soprabito.
Does he have AoE?
This staff is bound to my thoughts. I'm here, Doctor.
ここにひざまずくのです。
腕が俺がお前らの滅亡だなんて言ってみたけどいいよ
Letale è la danza della dama elegante. Di rosso si tinge il fiore
Friston. Closure, I have the right to refuse the data module inspections of upgrades you're proposing. I will not be treated like thorough EX and Latin 2. You know very well that I am different from my colleagues. Oh, the new closure look. That's so good. We've got the 3 closure looks and we still don't have her as an operator. What the hell? Oh, that's so good. Huh. We'll get her. We'll get her one day. Next year. Relax. I'm not trying to trick you into this module upgrade this time. And please restore the power supply to my mobility module. Restricting a respected scholar's personal freedom is really unbecoming behavior. Take a look at the expression doodle on my faceplate. It indicates how I feel. Angry. This won't take too much time. Justice Knight is already lined up, waiting at the entrance. Mr. Friston, I guarantee this maintenance will be quick. Alright, there we are. You've blocked me from accessing PRTS data? Blocked you? No, I just disconnected you from PRTS. To be more precise, I physically removed your reception module. Looks like that went well enough. I thought there would be some irreparable failures. You just did that? Without any sort of planning? Well, how do you feel now, Mr. Friston? I recorded the entire experiment. You violated protocol, and I'll be discussing your negligence with Calcit shortly. The face doodle. Not to mention your reckless disregard for my life. You should hear about that too. Mr. Friston, please do one more self-check, and to be certain you're not getting any transmission from PRTS. Why? You should be thankful nothing went wrong. I checked, and I indeed cannot connect to PRTS any longer. Ugh, it's like I have blurred vision. It's a very subtle feeling. I don't like it one bit. Perfect. Now we can talk, Mr. Friston. If I wanted to disconnect all the retrofitted operation platforms from PRTS, would there be a safer way to do that? Sounds like we're being wary of PRTS. I refuse to speculate about such dangerous work that would be no different than killing all of my precious colleagues. What if we had no other choice? Please tell me what might cause you to draw such a conclusion. Have you discovered something? Interesting. Closure, can you determine the root cause of the last few PRTS operation errors? The log show that most of the errors were caused by a human error. Operational mistakes made by team members. This again? Either way, backup systems are being deployed as quickly as possible. The framework for independent terminal command system has been upgraded as per Calcit's suggestions. I've named it Zoop. Temporary admin permissions have been given to the Doctor, Calcit, and Amia. And me, of course. A lot of the ideas I had when I first designed the system feel a bit outdated now. I really want to scrap it and start over, but Calcit shut down that application. We don't have much time left. Can we seamlessly switch to the new terminal command system? I'm still working on that. We still have no way to replace PRTS's current role in Rose Island daily operations. Much of our medical data and resources allocation calculations still rely on PRTS. But the biggest issue I'm facing is how to construct a data center and energy hub reliable enough to support the new command system. Nothing comes close to what PRTS can do here. Even while handling the massive high-precision computations Rose Island requires, it still has power to spare. Unfortunately, I still can't make sense of PRTS's underlying logic. Even Zoo, which completely mimics its design, keeps storing errors in weird places you wouldn't think of. What if we used Amnanum? Closure, I reviewed the comments you had added to my report and the theories you outlined in response. According to the CASO office's logs and experimental results, there is, at least in theory, a possibility that Amnanum could function as a data center and energy hub. But that is also extremely risky. We still aren't totally familiar with Amnanum. But it's not like we haven't learned anything from all this. At least, we verified that there's a possibility of using Amnanum for super long-range communications and data transfers. Even though she'd been informed in advance, Wishida was still freaked out when you greetings showed up out of nowhere. And the operators who went to assist Casdell, have they settled in alright? Everyone was surprised when they first got there. They assumed the city would be in worse shape. They found their footing quickly, and when the time came for Midnight and me to head back, it was hard to say goodbye to the new friends he'd made. Doctor, they really have to keep sending people out to the various branch offices. I've never seen the ship as deserted as it is now. We've come to a mutual understanding, Closure. We're sending more personnel to the regional offices partly to reduce the number of people at risk in the event of an accident aboard the ship, and partly to ensure those offices can respond more effectively when needed. I know that, of course. I'm just not used to having to say goodbye to friends all of a sudden. I don't know when it started, but my schedule is packed with farewell dinners now. Once the risks aboard the ship are cleared, it'll be up to you to decide when the operators return. If everyone is ready, if everyone is here, then we'll start the meeting. And also, don't forget to delete the voice recordings and data logs from today. Wipe them from PRTS. Okay, so we're being really very wary of PRTS. From here on out, every decision we make will shape the future of Rose Island. Oh, you know what? Oh, what event was it? It was the event with the auto chess. Calcit mentioned something in the introduction, which was like super wary, and I remember because I took a screenshot of this. It's just something about we have to be prepared for any unknown situations, which is something along the lines of you know, the enemy might come from within or something like that. I wonder if it was implying this. Oh, that's cool. We reached a consensus. We want to guarantee the safety of Rose Island's peoples and assets. There are certain decisions we can't avoid any longer. Yeah, Stronghold Protocol, yeah. I remember the tutorial, the introduction cutscene. Cassette said something about we have to be wary about like an enemy or an attack coming from within. That's cool. Oh, what did I say? We reached a consensus. We want to guarantee the safety of Rose Island's people and assets. There are certain decisions we can't avoid any longer. Simplify the ship's structure. Yes, we need to segregate Rose Island's important resources and help the personnel stationed on the ship settle in. This will help ease the concerns of those stationed on the ship while also improving everyone's response time in the event of an emergency. But I still have some questions, Calcit. This means we'll have to dismantle the vast majority of the ship's structure. Damn, we're really going this far? Dr. Calcit, did you accelerate Rose Island's defense planning only because of PRTS's recent irregularities? The recent irregularities have made one thing clear. PRTS is slowly spiraling out of control. Interesting. And as time goes on, this will only accelerate. However, PRTS is only Rose Island's terminal control system. If it's no longer in our control, then who is it taking orders from? You're worried about internal threats? Amiya, yeah, that possibility has always existed. I trust you, Dr. Calcit. Phew, what a headache. What do you think, Doctor? You know, people who didn't play that event will never be able to see that cutscene. I trust Calcit's judgment. She and I have already rehearsed hundreds of contingency plans. Okay, then what can I do, Calcit? You've already played a big role in the ship's reconstruction. The mechanical structures connecting the different core areas have been almost completely replaced with cyclic hydrocarbon prefabricated materials over the past 5 years, which can support a certain degree of modular disassembly. A certain degree? The power systems on the lower deck and the uppermost deck cannot be separated for now. When Rhodes Island was first excavated, the limitations of available technology and other constraints prevented us from restoring it to its ideal condition. It wasn't until 7 years ago, when Closure and I drafted the blueprints for the restoration, that we discovered it would be very hard to modify Rhodes Island's structure. I'm pleasantly surprised that we managed to do as much as we did. The catastrophe warning system and the medical center are particularly crucial modules. Both involve technologies that are not yet ready to be disclosed, and are also the hardest to deploy. Dagger? It's risky, but well warranted. Leveraging Clementia's and Gladia's private channels, we won't even have to establish contact with the Aegir authorities. I can assure this matter is handled discreetly and promptly. We might even be able to conduct technology transfers. I reckon that would make Warfriend happy. That is the path I believe we should take, Doctor. Aegir. Looking at all the factors, this is the best choice we can make. I mean, yeah. I will personally communicate with the Inquisition and Aegir's personnel to ensure the safe arrival of our own personnel and assets. Most of our patients have now been temporarily placed in treatment facilities and various offices along with reinforcements. All that is left is for the remaining patients to be transferred to Aegir once the medical center is operational again. Leave this matter to me. The support vehicle for long-distance patient transport is already prepped and ready to go. As for the transfer arrangements for logistics and engineering, I talked it over with my people, and everyone was enthusiastic about temporarily moving to Casdell. Many of them are old friends who stuck with us back then, and returning to Casdell means a lot to them. I'm excited to see what's gonna happen with Nasty's floating airship thing. Yes, I talked to Wishadel before leaving Casdell. Babel was assigned personnel to escort both our people and our key assets throughout the entire journey. We find the banners of Babel and the military commission. The mercenaries won't dare try anything. And then there's our mining module. The militarized mining module would need to be handled with caution. A long time ago, I purchased a semi-decommissioned mining ship from Rimbilliton and registered it under Rhodes Island's name. The ship's mining module can now be legally transferred to the new mining vessel to continue operations in Rimbilliton. At the same time, I placed an order on the market to buy the mining module. To hide your tracks? Making any major changes in the short term is sure to attract attention, especially from our rivals, who will use the opportunity to use them against us. While calling it refit and upgrade, maybe something most factions will accept, anybody with their own plans, the ones watching us more closely, won't be fooled. We need a few more sophisticated explanations. I stopped in Syracuse to resupply before returning to the ship, where I visited Visual and Penance in Nuova Vocini. They helped me dig into the current state of affairs in Nuova Vocini. As long as the Familia are not publicly pressuring Nuova Vocini, City Hall will be able to protect us. I propose inserting a business department in Nuova Vocini by means of investment. Establishing a cooperative relationship with City Hall will counter both overt and covert maneuvers from competing companies. Look at us leaving our tracks in the world. Doctor, what do you think? I agree with Amiya. Perhaps we can establish some backup warehouses or supply stores. We can build a backup warehouse in Nuova Vocini as well. The logistics system of Nuova Vocini has changed a lot in the past year, and the port's cargo throughput is extremely impressive. With City Hall's cooperation, it will be easier for us to conceal the transportation and storage of important assets. Doctor, let me handle the coordination of the rest for the rest of the support facilities. There is one last painful task on the list. Everyone looks at the blueprints spread out in front of them, as the command center falls silent. This is the key to everything we're doing. Calcet points to a region in the center of the blueprints. Abyss. Abyss. Whoa. Kosige. On the blueprint, a new area has been added to what was once a blank space in the central section of the mid-deck. Abyss. Casa has never told you what this abyss really means. We used to have a vague feeling that this area marked the blueprint. This area that has never been recorded by PRTS. Is inextricably linked to you. A long time has passed since it was last open. Ooh. I like her watch. Even back then, when I had to get close to that place to bring back someone important, I didn't dare go near the deeper part. The one that's been sealed away all this time. However, now I'm not even sure what kind of changes have happened in there. As I just said, if the PRTS abnormalities have a specific cause, then the Abyss must be involved somehow. How do you think we should deal with this section, Doctor? I haven't the slightest idea. I need to go there and investigate. That's smart. Dr. Cassette, I can go with... I'll bring the doctor there myself. Amiya, Closure, I need you two to make sure the surrounding areas are completely cleared out. Set up the first isolation zone around the Abyss itself, and the second within 1 kilometer of the ship. Ascalon and the elite operators will stay aboard on standby. I need all other personnel on board to temporarily leave the ship and prepare for countermeasures. Amiya, you and Closure must leave temporarily as well. Be prepared to activate our contingency plans at any time to deal with unexpected situations. How long do we have? A mass migration like this will be hard to get done in a short period of time. 15 days. During this period, you need to complete a full body data scan and comparative analysis, Doctor. I'll get it done. Dr. Calcit, what is actually in the Abyss anyway? The beginning of everything and the end of everything. That's ominous. A lot of ominous and angst here. Calcit, I want to go to the Abyss and see for myself. Calcit seems to know why you want to do this, and gives a slight nod. Alright, but please keep in mind, until we are fully prepared, we can conduct preliminary explorations on the periphery. I'll be careful. I don't like this. We can't go any deeper. I can't tell if getting closer to the core area of the Abyss will cause some unexpected changes. We are still some distance from the actual Abyss. I also don't have permission to open the way to the Abyss. I assume we do. I'm still trying, but to this point, I've made very little progress. So you're saying this is where I first woke up on Terra? Physically, yes, but your situation is a bit more complicated than that. Let's come here and bring back any specific memories. Is this some sort of test? Calcit shakes her head. I just want to confirm that you are in good health. After withdrawing from Londinium, our operations in Trimaus and Valerium inevitably forced us to confront the history of this land, and your history. Yeah? In the Originium Assimilated Universe, I caught a glimpse of my mission. The savior of this land. The destroyer of this land. Calcit, I cannot avoid it, nor do I have any reason to. Doctor, I stopped questioning your resolve long ago, which is the only reason we're here now. Calcit, I have a theory about the true nature of the Abyss. She is here. Ooh, the chills. This is why you chose to leave Amiya and Koja out of this conversation. I still haven't figured out how to tell them. After all, I don't fully understand it yet either. Yes, but we will have to prepare for it anyways, sooner or later. Amiya is still young, but every new child we face helps her mature a little bit as a leader. You can always rely on Koja's knowledge and skill, and she's taking more responsibility over Rose Island as well. They are all worthy of your trust and reliance. They will stand by your side for a long time to come. Of course, and so will you. But right now, we need to figure out what exactly is happening to PRTS. Our experience in the Assimilated Universe left us with many unanswered questions. And ever since Teresa and Theresis joined forces to seize the first Originium, I felt uneasy about what's to come. Perhaps she had already awakened when Amnanum arrived. Oh, could that be it? But that was 3 years ago. I cannot be completely certain. It is very likely that Theresis used some method I cannot trace to cut off the controller from the Originium. They delayed her arrival? I'm afraid delayed is not the most apt description for it. Nonetheless, I must admit they did something I never imagined they'd do. And, objectively speaking, they bought us more time. However, we will eventually awaken from our beautiful dream. It's like we have to open the abyss. Indeed, after all, PRTS is still operational to this day. Its core servant and power sources are buried within the depths of the abyss. We can't touch them or analyze them. We can never be too cautious when dealing with such an unknown space. I'll share everything I currently know about it with everyone involved in the operation. Can help you with anything. Now, for the version of you that exists now, even approaching these hazy fragments of the past takes a heavy toll, and right now, I have no way to help you shoulder that burden. I hope Amiya and the others leave the abyss to me. If you choose to trust me, that is. Of course. I just want you to know, you're not alone here, Kalsit. Thank you for your concern, Doctor. I don't like this. I understand. Visitor Kalsit. Hello, Kalsit. We meet again. You look like you need my help. I do. Please search for a technical document. Keyword, Slumber Bridge. Are you still there? I'm here. Sorry, Kalsit. I still can't output the answer you're looking for. You have crossed the line. I know. But we need it, Teresa. The evolution rate of Oripathy is accelerating, and the threat from Originium is increasing. Rose Island must find a more effective method to respond to it. I get what you're saying, but I cannot provide what you're asking for, as your request violates the underlying logic of DWDB221E. But I do have a way to circumvent its limits, Kalsit. Deep dive. Oh, we're back here. Universe. Deep dive. What you're saying, what I've seen, it's all beyond my imagination. I wonder what's the deal with this. I have just far too many questions and opinions about this kingdom, but language, yours, cannot describe. Mind cannot explain. Commonality, thought, existence. Hack your thought, hack your language. Thought is language. Follow me. The massive instrument instantly catches the goddess's attention. Her vision swims, the instrument distorts the light and her consciousness. To the goddess, it sometimes appears to spin faster than her eye can follow. Other times, it appears completely still. No, it still appears to be moving, very slowly. Very slowly. She stops looking directly at the device that seems capable of devouring her consciousness, yet she still can't stop herself from falling over. The ice-cold co-traveler catches her. Thought, resonance. Accept. It, forsake, resistance. Hear yourself. What's that? Death. The goddess instantly hears several different tones at once. She hears several foreign languages she can identify: Rimbilitonian, Yersign, Standard Victorian, and Gaulish, which she's only ever heard spoken by the clergy. But what she hears above all else is a strange language she's never heard before, a language made up of tones. Yet somehow, she understands what the strange tones mean. Death. I can understand you. How? Thoughts can be anchored, and words can be deciphered. Language is a tool, a right, and one of the key elements that helps shape our existence. And Seda is one of the greatest inventions of our time. We've erased the barriers of language. We've bridged the gaps between civilizations. That symbol, an anchor for thought, the metascript that deciphers all known languages, the tool for interpreting unknown languages. Death. That is the language that, up until now, you have thought the most about, Gerda. Are these the runes? Reincarnation. That is how you all communicate? Communicating via voice is inefficient. However, it is very intriguing and a good way to express emotion. Many still stubbornly hold on to this tradition, deepening their emotional bonds with one another. I don't fully understand you. Can you tell me where we are right now? A ship that salvages death from the grave. We seek answers to the ultimate questions among the ruins illuminated by light, before the same destruction befalls us, before death befalls us. This place you have visited, its master calls it what? Rhodes Island. Huh. The goddess is confused. Oh man, cogs are turning. She no longer is confused by the strangeness of her surroundings. She's perplexed by a different question. How can a god die?
Confidence of our companions is earned. The road ahead is perilous. These victories are precious.
Huh. Okay. Interesting. The threat within. After all, enemies do not always come from the outside. It's a tutorial stage. Okay. Ooh. It has me feeling some kind of way. Is that maintenance helper lost again? Watch out for the originium on it. Don't let it get close. What's that? Looks like the eye thing. Stop maintenance helper. Don't go any further. You gotta do nothing, Beagle. Oh wait, it's a PRTS hand. Really strange comment from the terminal combat interference. Same here. What does the strange symbol mean? PRTS process reset. Threat detected. Identifying target. Interference complete. Begin combat deployment. Prepare to eliminate threat. What? Hey, how does this maintenance helper get here? Instructor Doberman. Something's not right. It's calling for backup. Be careful. Hey, you're supposed to be on our side. We're getting attacked by the drink machines? It's like deploying things like we do. What's the situation there in Circle Government? We noticed that PRTS is doing a lot of dangerous things without authorization. Until it indicates that PRTS is bypassing permissions and deploying enemies to marked locations directly. We can stop it by deploying our own operators at those locations in advance, like this. Oh, I didn't like that. High threat target identified. Modifying command. Reassessment complete. You know, this feels so super meta. It's like we're playing against another entity. Almost like fourth wall breakers, in a way. Is it charging up? Like we're on this side of the board and then which means Priestess. Let's be real here. It's on the other end. Wait, what's this? By 50%, which is because you need to activate it and lower defense and risk from enemies. Oh. Tower defense versus tower defense, yeah. Charging complete. PRTS is activated. It's a weakening node. When activated with PRTS, it weakens all operators around it while it remains active. We can also activate it first to weaken the enemy. It will also have a long duration that way. It costs CP to activate, so we need to be flexible about our approach. Oh, I didn't like that either. It's the scrunching hand. Eliminate all the remaining enemies.
さっさと降参してくれればこちらも時間を無駄にせずに済むんだからなこれでいいだろう
There you are.
Mission accomplished.
I think we did all right.
Origin of conflict. All that were fragments written down in the endless book of catastrophes. Oh, of cacophonies. PRTS deploys enemies and weakening nodes. Fighting against the system. Time. You asked me why the first language I shared with you after our thoughts resonated was death. I really don't know either. Aboard the strange colossal vessel called Rhodes Island, the goddess can barely feel the passage of time. It makes her uneasy. Ever since the day she became infected, time has meant everything to her. Time will bring her death, and perhaps liberation. However, the beings who dwell in this strange place, yet deny they are gods, seem utterly indifferent to it. Maybe it's because I've never been afraid of dying. Death is nothing more than a passage to a new environment. Pessimist. That's how they will describe you in your own language, yes? A pessimist? I don't think so. The goddess blurted out and regrets it, just a little. She had agreed with many of the clergy's arguments back during those debates, but now that she's here, does she still need to think of those terms? Does she really care about everything she experienced before the collapse? After all, even time has forsaken her now. I once worked in a mine that seemed to be endless. To maintain efficiency, the overseer will kill or drive off any bothersome originium slugs. Originium slugs, a mine. Yes, those originium slugs are even weaker than me, and the mines were once my home. But the overseer didn't expect that the kindest worker in the mine was secretly feeding and caring for the originium slugs they were trying to drive away, which only drew more of them into the mine. Eventually, the slugs disrupted the mine's foundation, leading to a collapse. But you survived. The slugs' secretions fed me. Such a harsh environment. Many of them lived short lives, Yet new ones kept being born. They gave me strength. Miners, originium slugs, and yourself. But your story ignores the death of Terra. Hirda. You do not treasure your Terra. That's not true at all. In our language, Terra bless us is a phrase that invokes something almost divine. You used to have a very limited definition of life. I don't understand. You showed me so many individuals, each starkly distinct from the next. You all feel love and hate just as we do, and yet are still vastly different from each other. Salvaging death from the grave, you all live united by a purpose that I can't understand. But why have I come here? The goddess ponders this question, but her intuition tells her that the answer lies within the person who just extended a hand to her. She looks at the portal at the top of the cabin into the cold, silent, endless expanse of space. The light from the distant giant sphere once again passes over the dead planet, piercing the goddess's eyes. However, despite her blurry vision, she spots a small silhouette within the light. There is someone out there in deep space? Is that the one I'm looking for? Someone out in the depths of space seems to hear the goddess's voice. A shadow within the light stirs ever so slightly. You're looking for me? One circle, two circles, the little dots are spinning in the darkness. They're accelerating, coming closer and closer. They rip a hole in the darkness, and a bright blazing beam of light shines through. I extend my arms and embrace them. Core body temperature is elevated. Nerve blocker has already been administered. Body temperature rising rapidly. Prepare to administer muscle relaxant and replenish blood volume. Repeat the medication again, and let's start the operation. Dr. Warfarin, did I doze off again? Maybe I'm just really exhausted. Don't try and speak now, your throat is badly injured. You feel like you went to sleep. Yes, and I had a long dream. Didn't feel any other discomfort. No. Did something happen just now, Dr. Warfarin? Nothing major. Did you dream about anything special? Anything special? That's hard to say. In my dream there was balls of mud spinning around each other on a black velvet. They are now big, now small. One moment they were smaller than children's marbles, the next larger than the whole of Victoria. Someone picked them up and flung them back out. They started smashing into each other and bursting like fireworks, but the whole time, I didn't hear a sound. Anything else? I also saw threads stretching from one ball of mud to another, each one made of light. And on every thread there were people, running outward, racing along the light. I followed them. I ran to a white patch of earth. It was completely empty, save for a single stone tablet standing there. Stone tablet? What was written on it? Nothing, Dr. Warfarin. That's when I woke up. What a strange dream. But then again, you remember it quite clearly, which means your brain's memory module is still functioning properly. The more clearly you remember your dream, the closer you were to waking up when you dreamed it. As I see it, the fact that you were able to remember your dream is a very good thing. Say, I haven't seen Dr. Touch today. She has other matters to attend to. She told me to give this to you. Look. Huh? The spring, the gears, the hands. All the parts that make up a clock. She said it will help you relieve your stress. Dr. Warfarin, is Rose Island in some kind of trouble again? Little one, you've come to the wrong place. And surprisingly, BB got lost. Is Sarkaz? Oh, it's a boiler worker. Yeah, still exists. It seems like Closure failed to examine your program modules. Little one, this item here should definitely not be on your maintenance list. The Goliath lifts it gently and examines it curiously in his hands. What a huge change. It was empty when Her Highness left. Now there are so many interesting people and things here, right? Ascalon. Tell them not to worry. I'll take care of the mobility layer. Okay. Ascalon, you seem in poorer spirits than you were when you returned from Victoria. What about all the people working under you? They have been dispatched to create the isolation zone outside the ship. I'm remaining on the ship, and that's sufficient. Rose Island does indeed need a blade that moves through the darkness, but that does not mean that you need to consciously remain silent. Come chat with me when you have time. I have liquor here. Besides, I want you to tell me about Priestess. I witnessed the beginning of a heroic epic, and you witnessed its end. What we saw was very different. Okay. I will convey your thoughts to the doctor and Amia when they have time. The Goliath place is beeping in front of the exit passage. Stop wandering around. The mobility layer is dangerous. Don't underestimate what high concentration of Originium can do to someone like you. I'll keep my eye on the work here. That'll be enough. It's interesting that Originium can affect, like, electronic devices. But I guess it shouldn't be so weird. Dame Calcit. What could have gotten you this tense? Confidential, extractor warning system, medical and components. Logos Radiant. Records erased. Situation abnormal. Enemy weapons technology exceeds mission parameters. Risk of exposure present. Possible enemy signal detection capability. Shutting down drone transmission temporarily. Logos. I'm calling on you for the drone's live feed. I'm ready. Circuits. Agitate Originium through spoken words, drawn by hands to reveal what the swarm perceives. Logos' bone pen hovers in the air, automatically transcribing the images recorded by the drone. 12 flexible vehicles buried in the sand, 31 armed militants. The 5 snipers' nests have already been marked. There seems to be a signal of isolation device in the tent, which the scanner cannot penetrate. All are carrying unidentified weapons, threat level unknown. Further on-site confirmation required. Radiant, you're up next. I'm starting the drone recall procedure. In position. Wait a second, can you see me? The ball pen taps slightly. Its strokes weaving together the rough outline of a human form. There she is. Radiant gives a tentative wave to the 2 people watching the feed, and even in floating text, her smile comes through clearly. We are standing by, ready to assist you. It's no problem. In 90 seconds, your drone and I will leave together. On screen, Radiant walks into the high signal blocking tent as if no one else is there, and the transmission cuts out. Logos? We're ready to launch a full assault at any time. The incantations have already drifted on the wind to the edge of their camp. 10 seconds. 20 seconds. 30 seconds. Done. All entries have been transcribed. I'll be back in a sec. It didn't create a single stir. I overwrote the visual signals received by each target's brain. Chances are, all they saw was a mischievous little sandbee slipping into the tent to escape the wind and sand. Oh, look at that sprite. She's braiding her hair with a mechanical arm. Mechanist, how goes it? Did you discover anything while parsing the incident reports? All weapons have had their origins erased and have been modified to suit their operators. But I'm familiar with how to operate it. Doctor discussed a rather rare design with me just recently. They are from Ager. Ager? But the people who are going to interface with us, aren't they also? Regardless, the threat has been cleared. We must not yield to such a threat and allow it to interfere with our equipment transfer. Nor can we create any disruption that could alert the personnel involved. The matter is of great importance and needs to be resolved quietly. Misery Stormer Sharp. Installation of mining modules. Okay. There's no way. They're wearing special protective equipment to ward off our physical attacks. This was arranged in advance. They even know our personal layout. Orchid, stay back. They're clearly after our mining module. Figures. I knew I'd end up working overtime again. Spot, support Midnight and Catapult. Puppy car, have you called for reinforcements? Yeah, I called already. Orchid, be careful. Futile. As for the others, there's no one else. Where's that sound coming from? You really have prepared well. Unfortunately, you're not quite strong enough to handle arts. Ooh, mantra. Oh, I never noticed how cool her tail looks. Oh, that's sick. No, that's not right. It shouldn't be you. Shh, even your heart has gone silent. I'll deal with the injured. That said, Midnight is getting too worked up again. Orchid, I'll have to trouble you to deal with him. Leave him to me. The doctor guessed correctly. Someone leaked the details of our operations. Wrap this up quickly. Tow the backup mining ship to the nearest nomadic city and get the energy bay patched up. Then return to the ship at once to avoid any mishaps. Pith, why are you our backup? PRTS told me it would be Misery. You followed a hunch. A last minute change in plans right before departure. I'm just worried that... I believe in you. Misery, Stormer, Sharp, and such have other plans. Do we need to inform the rest of our colleagues via PRTS? No, that's not necessary. If everything goes well, I was worrying over nothing. If anything was wrong, we'll resolve the issue as quickly as possible and then return to defend the ship. Touch, Pith, Mantra. Water and Ines. Escort Logistics, Apartment by Mr. Casdell. How many waves of mercenaries have attacked us already today? This is the 7th wave now. They may not be too threatening, but it's really strange how many of them have been attacking us every day this past week. We've only just crossed Casdell's border. These guys do not fear death. They remind me of the mercenaries we met in Sargon. Faithless. Misery, what's taking you so long? We'd prefer you to be back by now. You should know that this place is still quite some distance from the Scar Market. Even if I knew every shortcut around here, it would still take me some time. What has the investigation revealed so far? For the past 2 weeks, someone's been routing the majority of Scar Market's orders here through a network of outsourcers. There's no way to trace the client. They've covered their tracks well. In other words, it was just bad luck that we ran into these mercs. They're not actively coming to attack us. I'm afraid so. It seems that not all of the worries the doctor had before we departed were unfounded. Oh hey Fang. Everyone, there's news from the sentries. Another group of mercenaries is shifting towards our position. There's a high chance we'll be engaged with them again soon. Misery, something's not right here. These unending waves of mercenaries don't seem to be trying to harm us. Instead, it's like they're trying to delay us. We can stay here and continue escorting the team. We can all return to the ship now. Don't worry, Fang. Some folks are going to find it harder than they thought to put their schemes into motion. The air is fluctuating. Is that wind? No, is that the lifeboat? High above the sky, a massive skeleton has emerged, stirring the dust of history and casting a vast shadow below. For many on Rhodes Island, it is the first time seeing the massive skeleton that once appeared during the chaos in Victoria. What a sight! Well, that's a new Rhodes Island NPC. Sprite. While investigating the Scar Market, I took a trip to Casa to meet a few old friends. Let's leave the rest of them. We should go home. I've already silenced all communications at visible range. Engaging now. The weapons counter my gear, but they offer little resistance against our your one boneless one incantations. Far from it. I just don't quite understand the rules of my speech yet. I'm curious about the thought process the Aegers followed in developing such precise weaponry. And I'll grab a few pieces to take back and dismantle. I'll help you study them. Come on, you two. We are carrying out a mission here. There are at least 3 squads waiting in ambush up ahead. We can take them all on. I'm afraid we can't handle this cleanly and quietly anymore. We need to tell our people to brace for the assault. Hey. Hey. The reinforcements for the doctor called for are here. Radiant, Mechanist, mark the location for us. The bad guy will be there soon. Blaze. Check your communication devices. I synchronized our location with you. Acknowledged. Wait a moment. Responses. Then we agree I'd rush in first and draw the fire away from you. I'll control the arts. Finished? I checked the signals in the surrounding area. They've all been cleared out. Who can tell me what this thing really is? Oh shit. Oops. Oh, it was a broken little handy? When it tried to self-destruct, I had to use all of my strength just to stop it. The people interfacing with us are also Aegers. Why are they attacking our people and equipment? Let Dr. Calcet and Doctor determine that. Ensure that we return to the ship as soon as our personnel and equipment are safely transferred to Clementia. We need to deal with these issues as soon as possible. That's interesting. There are still other unknown leakers out there. This is just the beginning, I'm afraid. Because we know Aegir is really in touch with the old civilization. That's strange. Why is PRTS responding even slower now? Or is it just my imagination? This isn't right. No, let me check it again. PRTS, output all back-end logs from the past 2 weeks. Uh-huh. No problems here. No problems here either. No problems anywhere? Oh, right, we had a stage. I always forget.
各小隊、再度アンチオリジニウムデバイスの運転状況を確認しろ。
That's fine.
Fa bel tempo oggi. Sono tutta letale e la danza della dama elegante. Di rosso si tinge il fiore
Hot
sottostante.
Ink machine. Both physical and physiological trauma.
I got this. Focus elsewhere.
Mine and Teresa's emotions. I'll manage.
Perché tanta fretta? La strada per l'inferno è già abbastanza trafficata.
アーツユニットチャージ中。
Like these things.
Picked out your bait yet?
It's fine. Let me take care of these.
Amiya here. Nostalgia won't slow my steps. Amiya here.
Sono tutta odio e rancore son da scartare, salvo in esplosioni di rosso autunnale.
I'm listening. Don't keep me waiting.
Sono tutta... Perché tanta fretta?
Makes it less of a sprint
La
again.
strada per l'inferno è già abbastanza trafficata.
Okay, with the amount of these, I probably need another high ground.
Tanti negozi. Perché tanta fretta? La strada per l'inferno è già abbastanza trafficata.
Take it easy. Aw, look at you. Ink all over you again.
Order acknowledged.
Mission accomplished.
Oh, you don't have to kill him. Okay.
Fine work. I will preserve this moment within my memories.
6. Etched bone deep. Humanity guards itself against everything. Fire, storm, cold, anything it can predict. But there's no way for humanity to guard against itself. Let's see. I don't want to bring anyone too like strong, like Logos. I'll bring Ashley. Why not?
Hello, everybody!
各小隊再度アンチオリジニウムデバイスの運転状況を確認しろ。
戦術支援システムオンライン。
Sono tutta odio e rancore son da scartare, salvo in un'esplosione di rosso autunnale.
All right. Target lock on.
Sono tutta perché tanta fretta? La strada per l'inferno è già abbastanza trafficata.
It's just floating there. One confused maintenance helper? Bro, why are we fighting freaking vending machines and shit?
Computations complete. もう後悔の余地はありません。泣き叫べ。その脆い信念のもとで。
Tanti perlomeno prova a scalfirmi il soprabito.
In moments like these, little Garnet shines most brilliantly. I'm not gonna sit here and wait for my demise.
Tanti perlomeno prova a scalfirmi il soprabito. Tanti perlomeno prova a scalfirmi il soprabito.
More
Tanti
How about here? How about miracles don't just drop out of the sky?
Sono tutta orecchie. Perché tanta fretta? La strada per l'inferno è già abbastanza...
Doctor, mentioned the others have already returned to the ship. Your guess was correct. Someone is targeting our mission. This instrument is from Aegir. Man, that takes me back. Dr. Calcit, can we discover anything from its remaining parts? No. The Aegir Academy of Technology has put a great deal of care into this delicate piece of equipment. Given their pride, I bet they made sure no one could ever crack their little handy. But the appearance of the little handy itself is enough to explain many problems. Doctor, do you remember the Joint Marine Corps? Of course. The reason you met with the Aegir Council was to facilitate cooperation. Both the Iberian and Ribilitonian authorities have responded to our call. The problem is that once cooperation begins, subsequent developments could spiral beyond what we've anticipated. In recent weeks, the Aegir fleet has not only constructed ports in Iberia, but also established landing sites along the southern coast of Rimbiliton. The Aegis from the deep sea made no immediate move to land. Instead, They quickly carried out a number of operations, including hydrographic surveying under the banner of technical cooperation. They also quickly assembled a land patrol through a mix of hired personnel and official partnerships, relying on more neutral intermediaries to facilitate cooperation with land-based forces. So you're saying the attackers were the land patrol? We're still only speculating, but right now, the land patrol is the only one that fits all the evidence we've collected. Dr. Calcit, some consuls don't back Clementia, yes, but that doesn't prove that Ager's behind all of this. No, I am more inclined to believe that someone took advantage of the internal conflicts within Ager. The land patrol near the Iberian border, the mining ship being handed off from Rebelliton, the mercenaries on the Castilian frontier. The breadth of the development and the depth of their knowledge about Rhodes Island's classified missions, there's more than enough to prove that Ager isn't behind this. However, there's no possibility of a rebellion within Rhodes Island. I don't believe that would happen either. Doctor, do you think there's anyone else in Rhodes Island who could do that besides us? Nothing that comes to mind. No. That's right. No one else could do that. Dr. Calcit, the threat that Rhodes Island faces now are unpredictable. Dr. Warfriend also warned us several times. The special patients she is caring for, their conditions are deteriorating faster than she could control. Whether to save our patients or to respond to potential crisis, we need more aggressive responses. I reviewed the records Teresa left in the Black Crown. She also made major breakthroughs through her work on Civilite Interna. I convinced the Civilite Interna to look for potential help, just like Teresa did. We must carefully assess the risk involved, Amiya. Amiya, are you sure you're ready? Are there any other more effective means at the moment, Calcit? At this moment, when the situation is still unclear, I cannot come up with any more effective measures. But diving recklessly into Civilite Eterna may not lead to the outcome we hope for, Doctor. I'll go with Amiya. Doctor, I cannot agree to such a risky plan. Can Civilite Eterna link to my thoughts? Doctor, that's too dangerous. No one has ever done something like this before. I agree with Dr. Calcit that you shouldn't take the risk. Calcit recalls the experience of her dear friend, which is not something she is happy to recall. Yes, Civilite Eterna can do that. She did it before. Yeah. Teresa. Doctor, your mind is incredibly complex, but you're not the only one at risk here. Amiya could be exposed to completely unforeseen shocks as well. I will not agree to this preposterous proposal. Dr. Calcit. Amiya, this is my opinion. I cannot interfere with yours in the doctor's final decision on this matter, but I hope you understand my stance. Amiya, I can open my mind to you completely. We don't have to force it. We don't have to force it in one. We could give it a few tries. Oh. But Dr. Calcit, when it's all over, we'll go apologize to her together. It's not this plan she's opposed to per se. I trust you, Doctor. I'll leave the decision of when to stop entirely up to you. Let's start after I finish arranging the defenses. Are you worried about me? I'm not mad at all. Once again, we were at a critical turning point, and last time, Bevel met the fate I dreaded most. It turns out that I can't make sure everything is running on this ideal track, Monster. Our own limitations have begun to affect our usefulness in more important endeavors. We may be able to witness the changes of the stars and the untamed cosmos, but when faced with a real crisis, we're no different from any other creature on this great land. Thank you for comforting me. I can sense your good intentions. Yes, I suppose me and the doctor have already begun preparing to delve deeper into Civilite Eterna. I will not interfere with Amiya's decision. She is mature enough to make the most correct judgment. And the doctor isn't quite the same anymore either. Maybe I still have a glimmer of hope in my heart. Maybe this time the outcome will be different. It is true that my own sanity is constantly warning me. Touching the doctor's mind again with the help of Civilite Eterna is not a sound decision, but Amiya's right. We don't have much choice. Monster, I will protect the doctor and the Mia. Oh, don't give me this theme. Oh, that's a pretty CG. Look at the art. At this moment, Monster can sense even Calcit's slightest emotions. Ever since Calcit's latest awakening, Monster has been at her side. Monster is her companion, the symbiote she personally guides, and more importantly, herself. Oh, look at that CG. The art is so pretty, man. Wow. You're wrong. I do not feel hopeless, Monster. I am delighted that the ancients overthrew the rule of the elders. And I am also pleased that Lugasargus set that starting point for a new civilization. I've made mistakes out of arrogance, but I have also regained my confidence by making dear friends. Maybe yours and my basic structures will always be alien to this land, but that doesn't mean we will always walk alone. I've found my home in Rhodes Island, on this great land. I've fulfilled her expectations, Monster. I've learned to love. I've found myself. I must protect the Mia and the doctor. I must protect the true variable here. The future I cannot even glimpse. I've communicated with Civilite Internal before, yet I haven't been able to break through my own limitations. But Amia can. Of that, Theresa and I are certain. I'm sure she can pluck significance from the massive trove of data. With Theresa's blessing, she can do it. She is still Mia after all. I have seen her grow into a leader with my own eyes. Following its footsteps, she might have some words that weren't left behind. She might find some words. In the past, when the Originium had not yet taken shape, there was an era when luminaries competed to argue with the epoch itself. Their wonderful ideas, born of a desire to celebrate and save lives, still persist. All is not yet lost, Monster. Terra has a chance, no matter how faint, to keep that hope alive. Me? No, Monster. I'm better at memories. Remembering the history I witnessed. I have seen erased by time. I am not special at all. Kase calmly inscribes the important info into Monster's spine. Oh. Yeah, she's hooking it with something. If the outcome I fear most does come to pass, if the one I least want to see stands in front of us once more, protect the doctor, protect the Mia. I will engrave this directive into your basic behavioral strategy matrix. Ah, man, I'm not ready for that. Come, Monster, we still have work to do. If the threat does come, I must ensure that Rhodes Island is Terra's first outpost against the crisis. I will be your final safeguard. Look, all I'm saying is I know I'm gonna get emotional. I know I am. Absolutely. The only way of discovering the limits of the possible is to venture a little way past them into the impossible. Like I said at the start of the stream, I don't know what happens. I do know Priestess appears eventually. I know sometimes it's cuss it, but other than that, I'm pretty unspoiled, so. Oh, hey, Nick. Alright, next one. How you doing? I've never tried to use the backgrounds to access your thoughts before, Doctor. Don't worry, Amiya. I've opened up my heart and mind for you. Thank you. She looks to her side at the beam of bright, warm light gently tugging at her hand. She shuts her eyes and slowly lets out a sigh of relief. We're in this together, Amiya. I don't know where this journey of ours will lead, Doctor, but I'll protect you. I'll protect you too, Amiya. Under the watchful eye of Civilite Eterna, she gives you your brow a light touch. Pretty good. Good to hear. Your memories and emotions flow towards me. It's strange. They billow so gently as they flow, and the memory's edge is close at hand. What did Theresa see back then? I've been grinding a clear on 1510 adverse with only IS mod operators, but I gotta wait on masteries now. Oh, like a special clear? Only IS mod operators. Why? What's the reason for that? Amiya sees you and Calcette and herself and the many people aboard Rose Island. As she walks deeper, the boundary of that one memory comes within reach. Curiosity and concern nearly cause her to forget her mission. She wants to reach out to touch it. Touch upon the start of your memories. Chernobog, the sarcophagus, and you, weakly stretching out your hand. Oh, it's the very first CG. Doctor, take my hand. It looks like there's a lot of other memories too. Why are they so blurred? Oh God. Who was Amiya? Uh-oh. You got a hold of Amiya. Were you lost? I don't know. This is the first time I've ever dived so deep into someone else's mind. It's a very odd feeling. It's a fun set of ops. Fair enough. Good thing you pulled it off. Thankfully, yes. Now I can sense even the faintness of your thoughts. I can sense yours too. You sure are relaxed right now. I've got nothing to worry about with you around. So what should we do next? Hold my hand tight, Doctor. I'll protect you on the road ahead. Theresa taught me everything about the role of the king that day. She awaits us at the start of the path. I get what you're saying, but I cannot provide what you're asking for, as your request violates the underlying logic of WDDB 221E. But I do have a way to circumvent its limits, Calcit. Deep dive. Unfortunately, not even Theresa was able to penetrate this deeply. The risk was far beyond what she could bear. You're not here for answers. Then why are you so insistent on access to data that is useless to you? I have no way of knowing if there will come a day that Amiya asks you the same question, but I hope that in the darkness, she will find the way I lit for her. That was Calcit's answer to me, Amiya. Could I ask you to look through all of Dr. Calcit's access records for us? I would be happy to. Her every doubt, her every insistence, each and every time she left in disappointment, I will show it all to you, unreserved. You have dove into the Civilite Eternal before, Amiya, but this time, what you seek lies far beyond your limits. It is a place where life on Terra cannot tread, for the time being, but perhaps you will find a chance to touch upon this knowledge that is not yours. Because you have someone who walks alongside you, Doctor. Of me? You will quickly understand what I mean, Doctor. Follow me, Amiya. Follow me too. Civilization's singularity. A great hallway of pure white circles around the central point that defies comprehension. The singularity. An unending string of complex information flows from it, but the strand you managed to snatch hold of are still within your understanding. Mia cannot see the way you entered, but after an interminably long time walking down the corridor, she finds herself back where she started. You noticed, Mia. The stagnation of civilization does not mean to stand still. It continues onward on its time's linear flow, unable to turn back. But all that life discovers and creates is doomed to fall into an inextricable cycle. Mathematics, physics, philosophy, theology, the theories and practicalities, amongst others, cannot inspire hope as they once did. The ascended spiral has failed. Life squanders its future as it stumbles blindly in the dark. So, this is as far as we can go? Only as defined by Terra's current knowledge. It serves as a limit, yes, but it is also a safeguard. A safeguard, some kind of cognitive barrier. Cognitive? Like how we can't make sand beads calculate wave dynamics. Even if we gave them all the data and formula, all forcing it will do is hurt their brains. As keen as an intuition as ever, Doctor, but not entirely correct. DWDB 221E enlightens life at a steady pace to bring it forward. It does not simply reveal fragments of the future to the seeker to create evolutionary leaps that violates laws of nature and ethics. If I remember correctly, this is Civil Light Eternal. Which is why, yeah. To create evolutionary leaps that violates the laws of nature and ethics. Knowledge cannot be unlearned, Amiya. The dreamers who glimpse the true sky are no longer happy to slumber in ignorance on the ground. Information beyond civilization's cognitive limits will simply blind them to reality. A deadly poison luring them into annihilation's embrace, throwing their civilization into the abyss. And so, this boundary was born. But why does it look so much like a prison made from some giant data server? It appears in the form your mind can comprehend, like how WWDB appears as a black crown in the material world when accompanying you. To a minuscule ant, it is an Ouroboros river, forever unable to flow to the sea. But to a celestial body whose lifespan stretches to the trillions, it is a gravitational field that will stay with them their entire life, unfathomable, inescapable. You walk towards the section, but one step away from the void. The distant singularity at the core calls to you. Information washes past you like gentle waves, showing you glimpses of many fascinating sights. They are fleeting shadows of your past, a life you have lost and forgotten, stray visions of an unfamiliar era. Be careful, Doctor. Mia tugs on your hand. We don't know what will happen if you fall off of this boundary. Are these what you saw? Our minds are as one. What I see, you see. The Originium slug egg went through the bridge between stars. So all those stories really did happen. The Originium slug egg. When I was really, really young, I met someone who was incredibly caring. That care was matched with great weakness, but also a stubborn insistence in carrying me across a road laden with Originium shards. When I was dizzy with fever, yet too scared of nightmares to sleep, a patient voice regaled me with stories I had never heard before. In the dark and cramped cave, difficult to find ore samples were smashed without the slightest hesitation, and the shining stones were scattered across the walls, and used to tell me tales of the stars and the heavenly paradise above the clouds. Would you like to hear one of those stories, Doctor? I will be happy to. There was once someone who drove a mysterious vehicle shaped like an Originium slug egg on their lonesome, who went through the bridge between stars. On the most quiet of nights, guides would borrow glowing clouds from old stars and make round mirrors out of them to light the way. On the other side of the bridge, spires faded in and out of the clouds, and the stars wore crowns of flowers. When descending on that crown, you'll see that it's a really, really big playground, one where lovely little children gather to play. But it was hard for the vehicle's driver to stop. The driver changed over to the most miraculous vehicle on hand and drove it for many, many years. But the years came to an end and nobody was left. Nobody but the driver. Do you mean me? Yes. Thanks to my infection, it's hard for me to remember much from that time. It's a lot from those stories I don't understand. But I will do everything I can to remember every single one of your stories. Because they are my stories. Tales you told me. You told to me. I don't want to forget them. I never thought today would be the day I finally get to share your gift to me with you, Doctor. This time, we witnessed it together, you and I. We got to know this past life of yours once more. Thank you, Amiya. Do you long for this kind of life, Doctor? I don't. Don't. Strange. It was such a beautiful life. One without the pain of eripathy, without conflict or war, where children could live their lives in joy. There's always two sides to life, Amiya. Maybe you're right. The cruelty behind the happiness, the joy behind the suffering. We've experienced it all ourselves. I'll admit, I shared these wondrous stories with Larissa. She was just as amazed as I was. She always hoped that everyone in Casdale, no, in all the lands, will have a chance to experience such a life. She did her best to see it come true. We can't let things slide back, Doctor. There may come a day that Rose Island will be able to see this beauty flourish across the land. Of course. So what's next? Deep dive. The attack data stored within DW is decoded by the Singularity and exported in a moderated and suitable format as information. However, Amiya on her own will not be able to break through the limits of the baseline logic. Am I a special case then? I am not certain, but the possibility is there. But how are we supposed to get close to the information once it's exported? Forgive me, Amiya, but I have no further information on this topic. I will search through the clues Calcette left behind and sort anything that may be of use to you so that it is easier to find. Perhaps we could build a bridge. A bridge. A bridge to the Singularity. Has anyone done something like that before? There's no precedent in the records. It's worth a try either way. And you must be aware of the risks. The closer you get to the Singularity, the denser the information will become. You may possibly experience it gaining mass. Information with mass. It is possible here, yes. It is also possible that information not yet fully decoded will flood into your mind and destroy it. And a destroyed mind means death. Huh. Don't mind me, traveler. I'm simply watching yet another bout of destruction is all. Gerda, that's your name, right? Did you just say my name? I don't know whatever language you're speaking in at all. Also, how'd you know? As the goddess passes by the porthole, she sees the figure out in the darkness of space, slowly approaching the ship, then disappearing from her sight. Who is that, Ray Distorter? Is something wrong? There's not many of us who like her. Sorry, traveler. I can't handle being in the same room as her. And my friends saw this. They'll give me the cold shoulder because of it too. When the bewildered goddess steps out of it, she finds herself the only person in the cabin. Upon foreseeing the arrival of an unwelcome soul, everyone else had made themselves scarce. What are you? Then the goddess sees her. Was this the figure? Mysterious elf. No need to look so amazed. I learned to communicate using long-distance resonance a while ago. Is that an eyeball? At the very least, before destroying that odd race, I kept the unique language patterns they had evolved. Destroying? Do you detest destruction as well, our newly come guest? I'm not too sure what happened, to be honest. It's nothing too complicated. My people once ate stars to live. Others may hate us for it, but it's simply our survival instincts at work. Huh. 8 stars to live, huh? But now, that past only exists in horror stories passed around the metaphorical campfire. My people are on the brink of extinction. I fear I may be the last of my kind, in fact. We destroyed to live, but when true destruction finally bears down upon us, we are powerless in the face of it. From that point onwards, I become nothing more than a beggar. With the aid of some geniuses, I have changed the method I use to obtain the energy I need to live. How did her name end up as Hilda and not just Hilda? I don't know. Is that her name in CN? Hilda? It sounds like you've been trying to blend in with other life forms too. So when you were out in space looking at the dead planet, were you reminiscing about the destruction of your experience? Reminiscing? Haha, nothing of the sort. Everyone here has accepted the ruination chasing us with certainty and hope in their hearts. Huh. Moment of truth.
お前らの訓練成果を見せる時が来た。ちなみに武器の扱いには気をつけような。戦場、それは武器を打ち砕き、その主たちをも破壊するのだ。
Don't get me wrong. I don't like the smell of the battlefield.
Alright. Paste that's right here.
Tanti odio e rancore son da scartare, salvo in un'esplosione di rosso autunnale.
If you need to calm down, I can slow your heartbeat for you.
Computations complete.
Oh, she beat me to it. Damn it.
Oh. Oh dear. Don't choke on your own blood now.
Mine and Teresa's emotions. I'll manifest them here.
Tanti letale è la danza della dama elegante. Di rosso si tinge il fiore sottostante. I got this. Focus elsewhere.
I'm here, Doctor. I'm here, Doctor.
Picked out your bait yet? If you need to call. Oh dear. Don't choke on your own blood now.
ついに
My lightning will illuminate the
Love will heal our scars.
Tanti negoziati. E poi
作戦を開始する。
They only follow me into the shadows. Sono tutta perlomeno provo a scalfirmi il suo traffico.
And on the scene, the flow of the currents. It's a mess. Aw, look at you. Ink all over you again.
How about my lightning will illuminate the starry sky?
There you go.
The Mission accomplished.
Cecily, yeah. I can feel the squad with like 6 stars, but then it becomes like a little too like easy. The Kara has never thought the oncoming doom, especially one pressing down on their neck, could be something to be accepted calmly. So sometimes I like to throw in like some random 5 stars in there. Wait, what did I say? The goddess has never thought that oncoming doom, especially one pressing down on their neck, could be something to be accepted calmly. I never could be so indifferent if I had to live through everyone and everything I love being destroyed. I don't understand how you... It's not indifference, but instead a belief in the absolute equality of the universe. It's a shame you arrived just a little bit late. The ship had just encountered a star-going supernova several thousand light years away and made a smooth withdrawal. If you see that sight with your own eyes, perhaps you will understand my meaning. The instruments in the hall begin to spin rapidly, until they are moving too fast for the goddess to see with the naked eye. Then she sees a multitude of lights and shadows appear and float through the air. I see a giant sphere emitting a deep dark red light, and a small indigo dot speeding across the surface. But it seems like it's the big sphere rotating around the blue dot. The one you call the blue dot is the pulsar that just went supernova that I mentioned. The red star, which is gradually being torn apart, is its partner, now doomed to die as well. They once harbored many interesting primitive life forms. I have many fond memories of wandering through the planets of that star system. It's a pity they were snuffled out before they could see the world beyond the sky. Why are you showing this to me? Simply sharing the knowledge we have with you, traveler. One-sided paranoia and ignorance are often barriers to effective information transfer. I have no knowledge of your history either. The goddess has barely had the time to comprehend these words before suddenly, her newly acquired knowledge begins to assault her mind. The land may see life be born twice. These stars fallen from the sky can harbor life of their own. Ruination's end is not despair. We're not special when it comes to the land. A celestial body that can sustain life loves all that live upon it equally, no matter where they hail from. This is the law of nature. Don't be too greedy in lapping up that knowledge you can't fully understand yet. I saw you among all that information. You once had many of your people by your side, but suddenly, the presence. That's what a lot of people call you, right? I'm just a wandering presence, true. Like I said, when true destruction bore down on me and my fellows, I was powerless. When exactly is this destruction you keep talking about? Or what exactly? I've seen plenty of things here I can only describe as divine acts. What could possibly threaten people like you? I'm afraid that nobody on the ship can answer your question, traveler. In your eyes, we possess knowledge that many life forms in this universe would consider divine acts. But in this boundless cosmos, even we have limits to what we can explore and investigate. Are you disappointed? So there's definitely no eternal kingdom, a paradise where everyone can experience endless joy and happiness. Would you like for such a place to exist? The goddess hesitates for a moment before nodding. Nothing lives forever. Looking back through the history I know, I have come across legendary civilizations that have conquered countless star systems, spreading across the cosmos for millions of years. But as far as the universe cares, what they left behind was, in the end, utterly insignificant. We once blindly chased after non-existent principles and ideals in the midst of that golden age beyond recollection. We believed our existences to have a shared purpose. But in the end, any life form born with intelligence insists on declaring itself the center of its world. But whether or not it is right, in the universe's eyes, from start to finish, we are nothing. This is the first thing you must learn before you can understand it. Remember that brilliant supernova you just saw? From that tomb, life will be born anew. There will come a day when those beings will understand what we have carved on our grave. That we once had lives of our own, that we existed. I don't understand anything that you're saying. How were we born on this land? Was there an even more glorious civilization here before us? Are we going to be wiped out in the foreseeable future? But what I really want to know is, all this pain and suffering that our Originium brings with it, can it be eliminated? I beg you, show me the way to the answers I seek. I can't answer any of your questions. Your first three have been asked in a myriad of languages and a myriad of ways across the universe. Only you can answer them yourself. As for your final question, I'm terribly sorry, but I've never heard of this Originium, and I can't find anything related to it in our databases. However, I do know someone rather interesting, who also happens to be the master of the ship. Perhaps she will be able to solve your riddle. The master of the ship? She's a linguist of wide renown. Her name is... Oh. Priestess. Ooh, the chills. Huh. Wait, she also named her ship Rhodes Island? What? No time to be lost in your thoughts, Doctor. Grab onto me. Did you see that, Emilia? I can't break my focus right now. Moving together way up to the singularity is incredibly difficult. Even if Theresa were here to help. Did you see something, Doctor? You see a familiar figure. Go, Doctor. Go solve your conundrums. Keep focusing, Amiya. Keep building that bridge. I will. I'm doing everything I can right now to stabilize the connection points, Doctor. Theresa has marked all the records Dr. Calcit searched through earlier. I'm trying to link them all together. But I still need an anchor point. One that can guide me back. I'll keep watch here and serve as your anchor. Press onwards, Amiya. Oh, whoa. Pink silken threads begin to gather. I wonder if by any chance if this is the celestial fulcrum, or if I'm just tripping. The mandarin threads interweave and spiral, gradually spreading out from the boundary into the distance. Beyond its walls, the path to the singularity slowly takes shape. It's working. Originium arts don't seem to work here, but applying the logic behind casting them to the information here does. Can you build a bridge using completely unknown information? No. This space is full of information I can't analyze, not even with the help of Civilite Eterna. I wouldn't have been able to make it this way forward alone. But thankfully, Dr. Calcit's access left records, and with Theresa's help, I can grasp onto her research data. That's more than enough for me. The pink threads continue to slowly spiral, linking together the many pieces of the complex data that Calcit left her mark on. String by interwoven string, the path forward gradually forms. I can tell how you're feeling, Calcit. By analyzing the emotional matrix I constructed of you, without your permission, I see your tenseness is not only because of my sharing an appearance with Theresa. You have something even heavier on your mind. I will try to adjust. I don't want my personal emotional changes to interfere with the objectivity of those who come after me when they query these records. Yet they are still changing. Calcit, are you afraid? It's not the most efficient way to build a bridge, but it should hold. I'm going to try to get closer to the singularity. I'll go with you. Yes, I'm afraid. I'm afraid Amiya and the doctor won't be able to find the information I leave behind. And I'm afraid that if the situation worsens to the point that they are forced to take such extreme measures, the trail I've cleared for them will no longer be of use. Or that I might mistakenly lead these seekers of knowledge towards a threat I dare not speak of. No, Doctor, I won't let you. Not before I check its condition myself. Amiya. Sorry, I know I'm being stubborn about it, but this is my decision. The bridge, formed from countless strands of entwined information, stretches out into the distance to touch upon a singularity. Without the slightest hesitation, Amiya steps onto it, her first step outside the walls of the boundary. A surge. This feeling. It's like the information has formed some sort of great wave. But why? This is only the beginning, I'm afraid. The closer you get to the singularity, the denser the information will become. It really is like Clarissa said. The information here has mass. Well, we'll most likely find greater resistance the deeper we go. Come back from now, Amiya. I can't maintain the stability of a bridge this week. Going this deep has taken a greater toll than I expected. I need to keep going forward, as long as I follow the Calcit's beacons. The silver mountains the Tikas had entered flit by her. The black shadow cast by the Fahrenmont plunging into ice fields vanished momentarily. She sees more scenes fly past her, as if she were fighting the current of the river of time. More and more incomprehensible, indescribable sights assail her mind. She does her best to block out the unending chaotic stream of information. Concentrate, Amiya. Concentrate. Just keep focusing on Dr. Calcit's beacons. Press onward. I just need to touch the singularity. Silence. Amiya cannot even hear her own breathing. What is this place? The giant sphere. It's disintegrating. Oh, she's seeing this. Looking at the shadow sphere makes her feel dizzy. But it is the bizarrely shaped ship floating in the air that causes an even greater bout of lightheadedness. What is going on? Why am I seeing... As she is trapped in her spell of dizziness, a rotating boulder slowly but inexorably hurtles towards her. I'm gonna trip up a bit. Its black shadow quickly fills Amiya's vision. She subconsciously tries to defend herself, but it is immediately followed by the feeling of freefall. Did she fail? Was it a surge of information? Amiya. Doctor? I'm here. Amiya senses a hand supporting her, keeping her thoughts steady by bracing her. Try blocking out the interfering information. I've got you. Ooh, that's cool. Hopefully I'm not too late. Sorry, I could have sat back and do as I was told. Doctor, thank goodness. That moment just now. You do your best to support her shaking body as the information wave surging from the singularity continues its assault. The information so dense that it has nearly taken true shape, washes over your thoughts, leaving behind jumbled after images in the void. It is a past long gone, the present being recorded in mass, and what seems to be the future foreseeing your next steps. It's a shame that right now, you do not have the energy to spare to pay any heed. The two of you have already made the long trek from the boundary to this point without even noticing. And now the singularity. The singularity is right in front of you. Did you see that terrifying scene earlier, Doctor? Oh shit. I did. I don't know what it means though. Certainly it's not something that took place on Terra. But at least it means we're getting closer to the singularity. Even more information will show itself to us. Can you still keep going, Amiya? Yes I can. You're well aware of the situation you are in right now. Despite knowing it will have minimal effect, you still subconsciously stretch out your arm to try and shield Amiya. The attacks here are focused on your thoughts. I can handle it. I'll be the vanguard. I've got a lead on what we're here for. I burned the calcs on Calcit's access records. You can read the key points from my mind. Found them. Using Slumber Bridge as a filter, Dr. Calcit conducted a total of 79,346 searches. Although all the searches are related to Originium, according to your speculation, this data is not strongly related to its actual essential nature. If the results are restricted and give us nothing, this is the trauma code here. No. Calcit retrieved the same entry over and over again. This is, in itself, some information for us. A repeated retrieval. Wait, can the infinitely looping code made from the repeat query count be deciphered too? You already know the answer, Doctor. Yes, it's a familiar name. Perhaps it's a sign. Perhaps it's a warning. I've never heard of this name. Neither you nor Dr. Cassette has ever said it before. Priestess. Doctor, are you seeing what I'm seeing? I'm afraid so. Oh, it's this cutscene. Priestess. You've never seen this scene before, much less seen. You're here, Doctor. Me? See, I want answers to this. Because we saw this in Vigilo. She's wearing a Rhodes Island coat. It took some time to refine your designs for PRTS. I thought you had gone to take a rest. No, I've been thinking about your words this whole time. There's no language that can describe God, as the existence of God itself cannot be understood. You know that was just mindless chatter. Suppose I take it as an axiom. With it as my starting point, would creating a language that can describe God mean we have the means to understand it? Does the prospect not excite you? Perhaps, in the pursuit of the answer to this question, we have been going down the wrong path, trying to understand the nature of the universe with its own flaws. You want to use language wholly created by us to interpret the universe. A far too audacious idea, Priestess. Is it? Without any further hesitation, she traces out a perfect rhombus in the air. Let's begin, shall we? What are they discussing, Doctor? You have seen this woman before in the assimilated universe. She once accompanied you. But I have faith, Doctor, that when you are truly confused by everything, you will remember the answers you seek were here all along. I will be here. I'm afraid they're discussing Originium.
高難易度のマップも攻略できるドクターであれば、いつか非決定性多項式時間の問題も解明できると予想されます。
15:8. This will be the last note for the night, and then I'll stream 9 through 16 tomorrow. If this treachery is a decision of conscious participation, what has caused you to fall into the abyss? What elusive hope has led you to the path of your own destruction? I wonder if they will... Oh! The scene plays out before you, but no matter how hard you try, you cannot get any closer. Doctor, that person she's talking to you, is that you? I don't believe I'll be able to create a language that will allow us to derive the ultimate answer, not by myself at least. I stand on the shoulders of giants, after all. From the base I put together with the greatest discoveries of our colleagues' respective fields, I will continue onwards. Even if nothing will come of it in the end. Of course, it wouldn't be the first time. Does it look like we have anything better to do while we quietly wait for the darkness to swallow us? Besides, I'm sure you won't say no to me, Doctor. So, where are you starting your research from? Priestess does not answer, electing to instead look at the faint dawn light peeking over the horizon. The one next to her does not bother her any further. The two of them simply stand aboard the deck. You look at her, and subconsciously tell yourself she's pondering something again. Why did you think of that all of a sudden? What is it, Doctor? Nothing, just zoned out. I don't think we'll be finding any important clues here. The information Dr. Calcit wants isn't here. This is most likely a fragment of history from before Originium was born. Based on what I experienced in the assimilated universe, at least. Doctor, you mean what we're seeing right now is because you... That's not all, I'm afraid. then that huge ship floating in the sky and that giant shattered sphere are also. I'm not too sure what relation I have with them. We'll make it clear then. But since you're sure this isn't our main target, we should continue onwards. Wow. It took a few years just to know what they were talking about on board that deck. That's crazy. The singularity is right in front of us, but the bridge I built is reaching its limit. The information city here is too high. Pressing onward is like drowning in a deep river. How are we going to find the information we need in all this chaos? Allow me. Your thoughts come infinitely close to the singularity, all while the near physical deluge of information presses down on the two of you. While you yourself seem able to adapt to the pressure, you sense a great strain on the Mia. They don't have much time. You pull out every key where the Priestess and the assimilated universe said, and quickly connect together every clue left behind by Calcite. Calculate a new result as quickly as you can, then add a new condition. Continue the cycle until you have isolated the information you need. Your thoughts are like diving into an endless ocean of building blocks. What you need to do is not particularly complicated. Find the blocks that are different. Their surfaces finely engraved with the words Calcite left for you. I never forgot. I think we did it, Amiya. Where are we? The Rhodes Island of the past. But this place and our Rhodes Island are completely different. The Calcite once said the ship was excavated in Rim Billiton and had to be repaired before it could be used. Just what exactly has Rhodes Island gone through? I haven't the slightest idea. Looks like you're in good spirits today. I guess our efforts paid off. Were you scared? Waiting by yourself in the lab? Primitive construct. Proud purring. Good timing then. I'm currently trying to put together a model that reduces the loss of meta information during transmission through special mediums. Can you try helping me do some calculations? Alright, that's enough. I terminated your process. You are to never harm your own core unit, even if an order comes from me or her. Oh. Protect yourself, AMA-10. Survival is an instinct the living are born with. It's actually purring. That's funny. Haha, at least your emotional module is iterating quickly. Do you understand their language, Doctor? I don't. Ignore that person in the thing by their side. But we need it somewhere else. You're right. So Dr. Calcite believed we would be able to find the key. She must have anticipated the language barrier. Look at the glass next to the person, Doctor. It's got writing written all over it. Formulas. It's a shame the development of Originium isn't going very smoothly. We're venturing into uncharted territory here. It's hard for others to keep up with us. While I've been engrossed in debate with her more often than not lately, our experimental progress has slowed. No need to worry about us. If this model's operational efficiency meets expectations, we'll be able to cross the first hurdle on Originium's development. All right. Luz sent us a message. There's been a rare breakthrough in the Cerealia Arbor. She'll be able to come visit us again soon. Looks like you're very fond of her. Amiya, we need to note down these formulas. I'm trying. What's happening? Teresa warned me about this. Civilized Eternals based on logic trying to eliminate loopholes. Because we're trying to transcribe information from outside the boundary. Doctor, I don't understand what the characters' these formulas mean. Forget about understanding them, we just need to record them down. remember them as best as I can too. The information on the boundary begins to reorganize. The loophole is being repaired, and the scene you're witnessing begins to rapidly fade away. I've foreseen it. AMA-10. This model she and I developed together succeeded. Or will succeed. I look forward to the day that language creation is truly complete. Or that language is. DWDB 221E synchronization is still underway. I know that. It's not like I forgot myself, right? The speaker starts to fade away as well. No matter where it is, no matter where in this vast universe you came from, I bid you to witness the beacons we left behind, remnants of some civilization now gone to eternal rest. Perhaps it will be our blessing and the final gift of hope. Wait, is that the reason behind the name? Civilite Eterna? Oh, I see what they did there, that's pretty neat. You begin to feel like that person is looking right at you. We will see it come to be, AMA-10. I believe it so. The forms are beginning to vanish. Retreat, but we still have the bridge. But I haven't. You still have me. A massive attack strikes your thoughts, and you sense yourself falling. The last act of consciousness you remember is keeping the me as far as possible from the singularity and that familiar figure. Thank you for bringing Amiya back here. Now, leave. It is at this moment that the metal link between you and Amiya breaks. Your mind is so exhausted you do not remember anything that happened afterwards. The two of you leave Civilite Eterna. The information erupted from the singularity does not cease, and among the flow, there is an insignificant scene that has never been accessed since the day of its recording. In the quiet of space, a ray of light illuminates a field of stars, bringing with it darkness and despair beyond doubt. When sensors tens of thousands of light years away received its image of the star field from the distant past, the planets that these stars shed their light upon are already filled with graveyards and ruins. It has come. Did the princess tell you to use these words to defend her? No, she never asked me to do such a thing when she left. You keep your wits around her. Don't let her confuse you. Because if you let your guard down thanks to her charm, she might put you in danger. That's how our people hunt. It's their instinct. As for the person you're looking for, Priestess, the master of the ship, she's doing some important research right now. I'm afraid her consciousness is shuttling back and forth between various research locations in the starfield. It'll be very hard for you to have a moment with her if she's not willing. Gerda, are you so desperate to find her because you want to thank the person who rescued you? Not exactly. I understand that I'm in some fantastical place called the universe, and it's not the afterlife either. I even have a wild guess that my home of Terra might be somewhere out there in this universe. But the more I know, the more questions I have. I want to ask her, why am I not dead? Where exactly is my home, Terra? The goddess looks out through the porthole at the stars in frustration. Perhaps that is because her bishop and the rest of her fellow churchgoers are still praying for her to get back in her land. But she has no way to respond. She curls up against the wall, allowing the light of stars to quickly sweep across her face. It turns out you can see time passing by with your own eyes. She has met many people aboard the ship, no matter if they were the respected hooded genius tucked away in the lab, or the wanderer of the universe who had survived ruination. Their optimism and kindness has dispelled her initial fear, but she knows that she will never truly be one of the crew of this miraculous ship. Yeah, I miss Terra already. Yeah, I just wonder how That's what I'm wondering. Like, how did she get on the ship, like, physically? Unless, and this is just a random theory, unless her this in Originium and went through the whole assembly of the universe shtick, her information was reconstructed on the ship, or some crazy like sci-fi shit like that. Broken echoes. I'm sure it'll answer us.
Il mio udito è
I
superiore.
won't find out today though.
Quando mi fermo, fermatevi anche voi.
Ew, it's these guys again. Oh. I thought it was the hooking guys.
Che posto meraviglioso.
Oh, it is the hooking guys. Oh, come on, bro, really? He's still
Tanti
gatekeeping.
negoziati. Perlomeno prova a scalfirmi il soprabito.
Go away.
Doubt your bait yet? I know what we can't hide your fear.
Holy crap, you're tanky.
I know what to do. Don't order me around.
逃げ道など必要ありません。ここにひざまずくのです。
Sono tutta odio e rancore son da scartare, salvo in un'esplosione di rosso autunnale.
What if I do this?
Oh, what ways from the flash. If you need to calm down, I can slow your heartbeat for you.
Monster.
泣き叫べ。
Perché tanta fretta? La strada per l'inferno è già abbastanza trafficata.
That's so weird.
英雄
It
た
like
ち
directly attacks your deep
この揺る
account.
ぎなき信念をたた
Perlomeno prova a scalfirmi il soprabito.
Oh god. Ooh, I can't heal her.
この辺温度が低すぎるか
I'm
な
gonna get rid of her.
英雄たちよこの揺るぎなき信念をたたえ我らに組みせ
You
よ
can be in high ground too? Are you serious? No.
アーツユニットチャージ中。
泣き叫べその脆い信念のもとで
Okay, I need to get rid of this guy.
つい
Not that I have high ground to do it.
俺を武器をその殻から解き放つ 腕が震えてやがる
英雄た
They
ち
only do that once. So
こ
I
の
don't
揺
worry
るぎ
about
なき
this guy.
信念をたたえ我らに組みせよ
Super high defense and res, but their HP isn't that high.
Mission accomplished.
Confidence
true
of our
damage will do
companions
them in
is earned.
quick.
The road ahead is perilous. These victories are precious.
Alright. So, that's it for today. I will continue streaming tomorrow. Same time. We'll do the second part. Ooh. Look at that. We'll go from 9 to 16 and then Sunday we'll finish off the chapter. But anyways, that's it for tonight. Thank you for anyone who came and stopped by and chatted. And yeah, really interesting chapter so far. It really started off crazy. But I'll leave my thoughts for the whole thing for the last stream. But anyways, yeah. Thank you for anyone who came by and